was actually, as portmanteaus go, there was something we came up with, kind of by accident, with me misspeaking, which I often do, and I accidentally said prestism instead of precision, and we're like, that's it, that's Jamie's gameplay, it's prestism.
Oh no, it is! Oh shit!
Especially like Frida and stuff like that, and even with like the data battles in Kingdom Hearts, and I just start talking about anything, and you just went into the zone. It's prestisms.
Okay. I didn't realise the stream was going to start this way. God damn. Yeah, I feel like that really is the name for it, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
I've got my own kind of moments where that happens, even with playing the new Zelda.
No, Bebop, no. Prestisms, as in like precision-tisms, not prostisms. That's when your arse is shaking. I had that in 2014. It got taken care of. Like, sorry, I just had to clear that up.
Yeah.
So yeah, what were you saying? Sorry, I'm just getting into the Tai Chi frame of mind, getting ready to speedrun the shit into
as
this.
am I. And yeah, with even things like Zelda, whether it's Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, when I was playing the final boss of Breath of the Wild, it's like, right, okay, you keep getting killed at that part, just parry. I'm like, how?
Just
and he's like, shield parry with like the shield parry button. I don't know how to do that. And that's the final boss. Why? But the whole mechanic of the Switch, the fact that you can actually move the controller and it affects the movement, kind of like we all played Mario Kart as kids, moving the controller around, but now it actually has a function. Having that and a bow, I really didn't need anything else. There's been a few times where Scott's been, yeah, you're never going to hit that from here, and generally it's a crit.
Someone played Link's crossbow training. Remember that game? Shit.
Oh god.
Alright, here's the thing, right? I'm on your side wholeheartedly, because let's take another game where parrying in particular is a very useful and sought after mechanic. Let's say Bloodborne.
Yes.
Do you remember at what point during Bloodborne I learned to parry? Oh my goodness, hey Charlotte.
Oh, hello. Yeah, that was pretty fun.
It was the DLC.
Yep.
It was Lady Maria of the Astral Clock, of the asshole clock tower.
Yeah, because you need to parry for her.
So, yeah, I made it past the final boss and into the DLC before I learned the first mechanic that it teaches you in the game. I'm with you. If you don't need it, you don't fucking need it.
Exactly.
You don't fucking need it. Why the fuck am I pressing a button that I don't need to be pressing when I could be pressing the buttons that have been carrying me through the fucking game?
It's even similar with the new kind of mechanics in Tears of the Kingdom, where you can build just about anything, and people are building like really elaborate structures. And one of the best things I've seen is literally just 2 fans, a small like board for riding on, and then like a little steering wheel on it, and a light. And you go so far and so fast, and like, yeah, what's the point in building anything massive and overcomplicated?
Look, if you are in one of these games and you have a crafting mechanic and you're making something truly, truly elaborate, you're either unemployed or you're already an engineer. Right, I don't remember what I was doing, so let's use the computer to remember.
At the end of last stream, we died.
Yep.
And we lost all of our progress.
Yep.
And then you sped run right back up to where we left off, really.
Alright, kinda. Alright, there's
a
little bit.
It comes out now.
There's a little bit of a... It comes out now. Shh. What happened is I had a visitor to my house on Sunday. It was the Sandman. And I was like, hey, you should check this game out. I think you'd like it. Let's play it together. And we were launch boosters. Hell yeah, let's get them. And we're playing through it. And something else happened at the same time, and I think we went just past where we were.
Okay,
like just past where we were.
that should be fine.
But I've been doing some collecting and gathering so that we can craft some stuff and things to start it off. Particularly this stuff and thing to get 5 objects in the pouch, because 3 is dog shit. What's this? Blight bomb stabilizer, allows you to carry and hold blight bombs. That's pretty fucking good. Shock fruit, not came across them yet. Pomegranates, rank 2 required. Fine. And there was one more thing, which is fast reload. We'll take that.
I love that with Skaz's comment. I hope you get an Iron Brew and sunscreen.
I use Iron Brew as sunscreen.
Oh god, that'd be so sticky.
Yep.
No, absolutely not. See, the sunscreen thing, well, in this weather I get it, but I use an SPF every single day.
When I was out in Canada, they gave me zinc.
Yeah, you'd probably need it.
Yeah, no, I did. I got 2nd degree burns going swimming in a quarry outside just on a hot day, and I had to go to the free health clinic, and the guy was like, "Right, I'll be honest with you, it's not the worst burn I've ever seen, but it's the 2nd worst burn I've ever seen."
Oh man, that's
And I was like, "Bro, really?"
oh.
He's just like, "What were you doing? Like, what the fuck caused this?" And I was like, "I was just outside." And he's like, where are you from? And I was like, really? Scotland? Obviously, I sound like Shrek. And he was like, ah, right, okay. What's that in your arm? Is that freckles? Are you actually a ginger? I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, why did you go outside? I was like, oh, fuck you, man.
To be fair, I got the same kind of thing growing up, and even though I'm not ginger, my mother is, and I've definitely got the genes, and I've had sunburn twice in my life. Once, like 4 or 5 years ago, I was working in the garden, and that was just, I ended up with a lace print on my back. Not too big a deal. The first time I got sunburn was in the north of Scotland as a child on holiday, and it was a pretty decent heat wave that year. Spent it all at the beach, and I'm like, don't need sunscreen. It's Scotland, but we fight. Oh my god, I was ill.
I'll tell you what the best sunburn I've ever had was.
Oh no.
When I was in it was the winter in Canada.
Jesus.
And it's just the sun was beating off the snow and reflecting off the snow.
Oh.
And apparently that's a thing. Like you can
Yes,
straight up get snow blindness with the sun hitting the thing. And I got snow burnt. And I did not know that was a fucking thing.
I've had snow blindness before. Way back in the days before we had to wear face masks outside. Like I've always owned a couple because I'm a goth and I'm weird. And really bad. I think the really bad blizzard last time that we had. Obviously, I have a plethora of cats at my parents', and I literally had to go out with a mask and mirrored aviators on, like darkened mirrored aviators, just so that I could see where I was going. It was hellish.
That's what you told everybody, but it was just so you looked cool.
I did look cool, not gonna lie.
Of course you did. Aviators.
Coming back in with like the early stages of frostbite in my fingers, mind you, that was less cool.
Oh man, I know a guy that got that on his nose out in Canada. Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, like the stage before they call frostnip, and you essentially go quite purple. So I'd been out basically crawling through the snow trying to get my cats, and my dad peeled my gloves off, and he's like, "Your fingers are purple."
Fascinating.
I am detecting
What the fuck is
ever
this?
since
ancient transmission from within the
Son
tower
of a-
that seems to be localized within these tablets.
alien
My
sound.
initial assessment is it is some kind of video codec. If you could
Yeah,
find
after
more of
the
these, I will
sunburn
continue to
incident of
decode
my
and
youth.
store
Oh wait, how do I
them.
use the lodge boosters?
Oh,
This new
yeah, that
information
would
is
be
fascinating.
helpful to know if we're
We am
jumping around.
cross-referencing it with our database of alien
It's
languages
alright.
and attempting translation.
Yeah,
I have also added a new folder to your
kind of like the
desktop
jump jets on the
Javelin
prawn
computer.
suit. It's
You can check out the
bearable,
results
but
at
not
your
great.
leisure.
Yeah, it's alright, and he's upgraded. Right, what's this then? So yeah, I'm gonna have to do some scanning shit. But basically what we're doing just now is we are in preparation because I've noticed something. I noticed something quite interesting.
Oh.
While we were talking earlier on about the trophies for this game, I was telling you that there is a trophy for destroying this game in under 4 hours.
which is terrifying to me.
It is, it's terrifying. But I went on speedrun.com just to see
Okay.
how bad it would be, and the single player speedrun record on the PS4 without the load times taken out
Right.
of the time is 15 minutes somehow.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's an any percent, so there's probably some bullshittery involved in that.
Yes.
But it has made me realise, it did make me check all the other categories, and in the co-op any percent category, there is actually no runs listed.
Wow, really?
Which means any fucking run submitted would be a world record, really, technically.
Technically, yeah.
So I'm figuring out the route here, because me and someone, maybe Beeves, maybe somebody else, who knows, maybe I'll throw the challenge out to a few people and just see who comes out with the best run. Challenge you, because I know I'm not the issue here. And maybe we'll set like the top 3 world records. And
That would be awesome, actually.
I've never had a world record.
I mean, knowing what you're like with platinum popping, I'm sure eventually one day you'll get there.
I genuinely think I might have came close in one game, but it was a score-based game, and it was just one that I got disgustingly good at. It was you ready for this? It's the Kung Fury game.
Right. Okay.
And it's just, it's literally just you push left or right, depending on what enemies are coming at you. Like, you're stationary, the enemies come in from the left or right of the screen, and you just press in the direction of that enemy when they approach you. Some enemies take 2 presses, some enemies take 3, some take 4 or 5.
Jeez.
Every time you hit one, it gets knocked back a little bit, so if there's multiple enemies on either side, you have to figure out which one's actually closest to you, like, at each moment to moment, so that you don't get hit. And it's basically a rhythm game.
That's really cool.
And I'm horribly good at rhythm games. So yeah, there was one time where there was a trophy for doing it, like for beating the in-game high score, and my friends were over. They were like, "I've tried this; it's literally impossible," and I did it with one hand.
Oh my god.
So I feel like if I actually sat down and tried, I could maybe push some kind of silly high score, but the game it would take a lot of practice because I was playing the game a lot at the time. And that's probably the closest I've ever come.
Well, I found
Fuck,
a
you
list.
shooting
I don't know how official this list is, but oh,
The fuck is you?
the phone's just having a fit. Bear with me.
What are you? Let me scan you. Ah! Scan you fuck! Thank you. You're a flip snoot, right, thank you.
There was a post on Reddit and a couple other places mention a Guinness World Record for most platinum trophies, which was 1600.
Uh-huh.
I've then seen one on PSN profiles, which, where are they? Platinums. Oh my Christ, okay.
Yeah, it's there are like corporations that do this.
Yeah, that our the world leader in platinum trophies is 8,023 plats.
Yeah, that's like a team of people working round the clock to get all the trophies in all the games.
The top in the UK is 5k.
Really?
Yeah.
That still seems like it's probably not one person.
Yeah, probably not, no.
Although, I don't know, maybe, because, like, let's think about it, right? I deliberately play incredibly long games.
Yes.
Like RPGs and shit. I don't play, like, all the PS, you know, like the shit, like the shovelware games that have really easy platinums that I could use to artificially inflate the numbers.
Yeah.
If I was to do, and I took, like, 3 to 5 years off actually hunting. If I was actually doing, like, all the shitty games and didn't take that break, maybe.
Maybe.
You know, because like how many in the 955 hours I was playing Monster Hunter, how many of those shovelware games could I bust out?
Oh yeah, plenty. I'm going through this list, seeing how far I have to get till we get to round about the 200 mark, and see how far I'm there, basically.
I'm sort of artificially like postponing getting any more platinums at the minute because I'm trying to like manipulate it so that the 200th one's Final Fantasy.
Yeah, of course. And that's going to be hard when we actively stream new games all the time.
Well, the thing is, right, what I'm doing is taking games to the point where I just have to do one thing to pop the platinum.
To pop it, right? Okay,
So,
that's
like,
cool.
Kingdom Hearts, I need to play the same song like 10 more times.
Oh, that's not bad.
Doom, I've got 2 things left to do. I have to do a complete new run of the entire game one more time because it bugged on me and it didn't count 2 of the audio logs as being collected. And when I go back into the level, the controller vibrates as if there's a secret nearby, but it doesn't actually show me the collectible, and it doesn't show up. There's no prompt to pick it up, so it's just bugged. Wow. Which really sucks, so I have to do the whole game again to try and get that one thing. And then it's just doing one level on the hardest difficulty. So I'll do the data logs and then I'll leave that hardest level thing.
Yeah.
And then so, like this game, I'll probably do everything except the speedrun.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I'm just gonna leave that as like a last hurrah thing.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, what's this thing's gimmick? You slap it and you get silicone. Cool. Oh, goo. Yum yum yum. So, it's dealer's choice tonight on what of the horrible Harry Potter spin-offs we decide to crawl through. So what you got for us? What are we doing?
So, it's not necessarily a crawl through, it's a gentle whistle-stop tour because The Cursed Child actively makes me angry. I only, and I've not read it, I read plot points.
Is that you?
5-6 months ago.
Who the fuck hit me?
And I was enraged, and I'll probably never have anything to do with it. But Fantastic Beasts is a lot longer, especially given that it's based on a very short book, and so pretty much gave them creative license to do all sorts with it. But it's all kinds of nonsense, but I have kind of seen that back to back. I don't know, what does chat think?
Did they get added to Netflix?
Yes, so a couple of weeks ago we got the addition of Harry Potter's 1 through 7 Part 2 and Fantastic Beasts 1, 2 and 3 all on Netflix.
Oh,
I've
wow.
already them all, of course.
This vine is embedded with a magnetic element that should allow it to interact with your grapple. It's like a roller coaster, only shorter and much more dangerous.
Oh, okay, no, can't. You lied, you lied, you lied. Right, we'll come back to that.
So, do we want to do Future Potter with time travel nonsense, or do we do or Historic Potter with just mad animals?
With a lot of embellishments.
A lot of embellishments, lots of mad animals, and some really bad writing.
I mean, how's that different from regular Potter, really?
Oh, both of them are worse for the writing than Potter.
Look at the little picture on this thing. How in the fuck did these guys know I was going to get jump boots?
Yeah, exactly. Slightly immersion breaking.
You can upgrade your grapple to access that rail.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay, I need to upgrade the grapple, apparently. Aha, go. Zigoo! So an any % run on this would include getting all of Zigoo. Sorry, a 100% run if we were going down that route, but I think any % is literally just, see the end credit. Which seems like the slightly more accessible one. Right, so where in the name of Hylia do I go to get this upgrade? Over here.
I've kind of pulled through that list, and people round about the 200 Platts mark are sitting at page like 200 on this list.
Well, this is gross.
But that's page 200 out of 98,000 pages.
Oh.
That's doing alright.
I could pump these are rookie numbers still. I could pump that shit up.
It's interesting though because it's also done like it's scored by overall level and then number of bronze, silver, gold, platinum trophies, and total points. So it's kind of got lists for everything. But the top end ones are just terrifying.
Ugh. Alright, don't go in the nut hole. What is your gimmick? No, we don't want that. Yeah, what the fuck? What is the gimmick here? What? Did I just have to take all the nuts out the hole?
I mean, could give it a go.
There's amber in these holes. How do I break the amber? Right, I've taken all the nuts out the nut holes. That is still not opened this up. Maybe I gotta close these new other holes with the nuts. Where am I supposed to put my nuts?
Can we do anything to the amber? Because it looks like it's blocking some of the holes, or are we meant to block them all?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, can I do anything with the pomegranate? Maybe blow the amber up? Nope.
Oh, apparently not.
There's no visible roots coming off of this one. Big old chunk of fossilized goodness dissolved with acid. Okay. Do I have acid? No? Alright, you win this round. I'll be back from the nuts.
We'll find something. Yeah, we'll find something in a later area and it'll be like, oh, this is how we do it.
Amazing. This creature
everything that I've already scanned needs rescanned, even the turd birds.
I'm thinking we do Cursed Child.
Oh.
Because it's shorter, it's characters that we already know, somewhat, or the descendants of those characters.
What the fuck?
And it's all manner of nonsense.
Ah,
oh, we've got another sub in the chat.
Oh my goodness! It was, oh, hey man.
I shared my sub anniversary last time.
What the fuck is hitting me? Stop it!
Must be something.
It's a little bird. Go away. Angry birds. Stop it. Stop it, poo bird. Give me the bombs. Oh my god, it blew up. Ah! Everything's blowing up! This game is chaos! Ah, there's jellyfish! What the fuck is this? Why is there a fucking wave? Like, a horde survival section?
I know, I just seen the difficulty between this week and last week seems to have just turned itself right up. Especially the amount of enemies just throwing themselves at you.
What's that pink one?
Maybe that's what's been hitting us.
What are those?
Jesus.
I can't even scan it. Right, hang on. Let me get rid of some assholes. Right, pop. Where are the other disposable ones? There, pop. Nope, pop. There we go. Right, scan. No wait, heal. Fuck. Oh my god, I'm being dissolved!
Oh.
Where's the health plant? Where is it?
Hopefully somewhere close.
Oh, where am I stuck?
Oh no!
What am I stuck on? Slide! Health plant! Slap it!
There we go.
Okay, sorry, what were you saying?
I was thinking we should start with Cursed Child.
Alright, okay.
Just because it's characters we know or descendants of characters that we know.
Alright, okay.
And I'm looking.
It's as good a reason as any.
Yes. And I'm going to run through the synopsis and you can stop me whenever to object or to make fun of.
What is this? Oh, it's just a different colour. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
So this is split into two parts because it was written as a stage show. unfortunately, and it's still touring.
Is it really?
Yes, my mother actually recently announced her intentions to wanting to go. I was like, you enjoy that.
Yeah, you do you.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, but we all like Harry Potter, and I'm like, yeah, but it's not Harry Potter, is it, Mum?
It's fanfic.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, like, everything that is not written by the original author, even if the original author is a FUD, is fanfic. Although that does lead me on to something very exciting. My favourite book series is coming back.
Oh.
Yeah, Discworld is coming back.
Ooh, very nice.
Rhianna Pratchett has announced her first novel in the Discworld series to come out after the death of her father, which
That's
is
so exciting.
it is and it isn't.
Yeah.
Because, like we say, everything that comes not from the original creator is fanfic, but as we're saying in the chat, it's sanctioned fanfic. The only reservation that I have with it is I played Tomb Raider and it was shit. The story in particular was dog shit and she wrote it. So, do you know that way I really fucking hope she's better at Discworld than she is at Tomb Raider, because Tomb Raider, I'm sorry, I wanted to love it, I expected to love it because she was writing it, and it was one of the worst stories I've ever fucking put myself through.
Oh dear. That is a worry.
Yeah, it was really silly. There were so many points where I was shouting at the screen, just going like, what the fuck are you doing? What is anybody doing? And it had that problem where, like, Lara was clearly, like, also Wolverine. Because she had a healing factor that was just keeping her alive. Look, she died like 7 times in the first 3 hours. Easily.
Yeah.
Not even like a wee death. I mean like big death, like proper death.
God.
Like you have to declare this death.
Yeah.
Oh, the game's getting political.
I had heard that she'd wrote it, but I haven't played it. Purely because I'd heard you saying you weren't mad on it. I tend to trust your judgment in that sense.
It's alright, like, you'd probably get some enjoyment out of it, but it'll be hard to platinum now. I got really lucky with it. There's a lot of online shit, and I just happened to find a boosting group that just happened to, years after its launch, be boosting that weekend.
Oh, that's lucky.
Yeah, it really was. It's the first and only time I've ever used like a forum post boosting group from PlayStation trophies. I should probably do it more. It's fucking great.
I mean, yeah, and certainly like grind out quite a few more plats that way.
I think it's a really cool thing that the community will band together for a day just to knock out some online shit that's got a dead community, so that people can still get these things. Because this is the thing, like every time PS Plus updates and the new games library comes in, there's new games, you always have to check and see what's actually achievable, because half the online content's fucking dead.
Or non-accessible.
You won't be able to hold on to it for long without an upgrade. Though, if you gather some data,
okay, bomb plants, blast
and
plants, blight
funny
plants.
You should say with Lara Croft that you were shouting at the screen, because I got very angry in my first read through of this.
Well, let's see if we can recapture the magic. What is with the zombie pufferbird? Get the fuck away from me! it explodes into a fart.
Oh, great!
It's got a ball in the back of its head you need to shoot. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it. Right, so, getting into it. Let's do it. Let's stop procrastinating.
Act 1. So in the opening scene, which is set during the epilogue of Deathly Hallows in the year 2017, Harry and Ginny send their younger son, Albus Severus, on the Hogwarts Express to begin his first year at Hogwarts. Harry works as the head of magical law enforcement at the Ministry of Magic, while Ginny is the editor of the sports section of the Daily Prophet.
Hang on, back up. Immediately I want to just say, like, Harry, what are you doing? Albus Severus? Dad, who am I named after? Who is Albus? So he is the guy who basically engineered all of the tragedy and torment in my life and made sure that I was kept in what is essentially a domestic abuse prison for all of my childhood, and you know, he basically kept getting me into all these dangerous situations where I nearly died, and he was
enough that
I
went along with it.
Aye, he was kind of a dick, to be honest. Alright, and who's Severus? Oh, he was this guy that he actually killed the first guy. But it was fine. He knew about it. He knew it was going to happen, so it sound. But he also like was pure in love with your gran. But they never did anything or anything like that. He just pure fancied your gran. So oh right, why didn't you name me after like your dad or your grand? You don't understand, right? You just don't understand me, man. See these two? Oh, they were something else. They were something else. They did actually. One of them was part of Voldemort's crew for a wee while. Now that you mention it, though, so you know that wasn't great. But apart from that, right? Oh, sorry. Actually, no. The first guy did actually like hide all of the secrets to everything in a pool of tears, a literal pool of tears. Which most good people don't actually possess.
No.
But it's fine. Oh, do you know? No, hang on a minute. He did actually hire a bunch of fucking werewolves and people that should never be teachers to look after us, and quite a few kids actually got injured. Fucking some of them died, even. Goddamn.
They did.
So yeah, there was that. But apart from all that, that's why they were great people, and that's why you're named after them.
Yep. Well, Albus also has an older brother called James Sirius Potter, and his younger sister is Lily Luna Potter.
Right. Okay. One of the children they hate, then clearly, and it's the one we're focusing on.
Yep.
This is like if all of your family, like your siblings, were like they had like full 6-part Victorian names.
Oh God.
And then your brother was just Jim. You know, like what the fuck are you meant to do with that?
Yeah.
This is Atticus Courage.
Oh
this
my
is
God.
Hope Honor. And
do you know
this
who
is
has
Toby.
Do you know who has children named like that? Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Really?
Oh yeah.
What
he
are their
has
names?
6.
What are their names?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Oh yes, this is great. They hate. I'm just the kid in this short story that we're reading. Hopefully, it's a short story.
It is.
The parents hate him.
Yes.
It would be like if you had kids in the real world and you named one of them like, who are some of the greatest historical figures that weren't actually dickheads in the end?
Don't know. A lot of them were dickheads.
I know, that's why I'm trying not to say MD in case somebody's like, actually they were a dickhead. So do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, right. So you got Nikola Tesla.
Yes.
How do we feel about that? We okay?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. So you've got one kid. You've called him Nikola Tesla. You've got, you know, who's that? Oh, that's the guy that like basically tried to fucking give it the world free energy, but he got buggered by another guy.
Yep.
And you're also named after fucking Jack Black.
Yeah.
Right, another safe bet, please, God.
Yeah, a very safe bet.
Yeah, and then you've got another kid, and you're like, what's his name? His name's Adolf. Fucking.
Oh.
Adolf Diddler. Adolf Diddler Dahmer.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's your other kid's name, and it's like, oh, okay.
Oh.
Why did you do that? So immediately I'm upset by the name.
Yeah.
I'm sure I said that when it was revealed before, but just to really reiterate what was happening here.
I'm gonna try and see. Oh. Yeah, I have a list here. Well, it's an article, but oh god.
Leaves aren't leaves at all.
So his first child is
Right.
Peter. Peter Theodore Alphege Rees-Mogg.
Alphege?
Alphege, Alphege.
That sounds an awful lot like Albed.
Yeah. Apparently it was the name of a saint and a former Archbishop of Canterbury, because they're Catholics.
Sure, right, okay.
Yep. Then we have his sister, Mary Ann Charlotte Emma Rees-Mogg.
That's just a bunch of like white girl
Yeah.
names, all just
Yeah,
stapled together.
it's kind of normal for a little bit. It's just a lot of names, and then
Are
we
any
start
of
going.
are any of them like double barrel white trash bullshit, or is it all just individual single white girl names?
Apart from the surname, just all single names.
Oh man, she sounds like her blood type is beige. She sounds like the kind of person that thinks oatmeal's exciting.
Next we have Thomas Wentworth Somerset Dunstan Rees-Mogg.
Oh, now you're talking. Now you're talking. This guy, you put that name on your CV, you're getting the interview.
Oh, and next we have Anselm Charles Fitzwilliam Rees-Mogg.
Ansem?
Ansem with essentially an L in it, Anselm.
Ansem?
Yep, named after another Archbishop of Canterbury. Oh, and even having a middle name like Fitzwilliam, that's generally got kind of connections as well.
I'm trying to imagine now, like, imagine any one of these Waynes went to a public school. Imagine any one of them went to Castlehead.
Oh my god. My dad went to Castlehead.
I went to Castlehead, what you saying?
From the absolutely nothing. The stories I heard from my dad's school days back in the day, absolutely nothing.
They're all true.
Oh, I know. Well aware.
I got a ground pound? Where? Where?
My mum worked in a lawyer's, after high school, and she ended up knowing a lot of guys that were in school with my dad, because they all came in for various horrific crimes over the next couple of years.
Man, the school is, everything you've heard is correct.
Maybe stick your face in.
Oh,
See what happens.
fantastic. But yeah, one of those kids going to a school like that would get absolutely thrown about.
Tell you what though, the headmaster when I was there had one of those names.
Yeah?
Yeah, and do you want to know how respected he was?
How?
Well, his first name was Athel.
Oh my, okay.
I'm sure you can imagine what we did with that.
Oh, yes.
Morning,
Quite
asshole. What did you say? Athole. Morning, asshole.
Jesus.
Alright, asshole. How you doing? Poor bastard. He went outside in the winter and get fucking scudded in the back of the head with a rock covered in snow.
Funnily enough, that happened to my headmaster, and my school was one of the first in the central belt of Scotland to have a policeman based in the school, on staff.
Yeah, we had one of them too.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but because there was always something up. But and even though most of what they called the senior management team, like the heads of houses and things like that, they were all idiots. Really, you didn't get much kind of authority out of them. But the headmaster was genuinely terrifying, to the point when he gets scudded in the back of the head with a stone wrapped in snow. The entire fucking schoolyard just went silent, and everybody scarpered.
Oh, yeah, no. The only time anything like that would have ever happened in my school was we had a Janny.
Right.
And he was class. Like, he just used to cut about and use the bins like drums and just fucking sing songs all the time. Like, he was just entertaining and he was a nice guy. Like, he would, if something, like, if your bike had a flat tyre, he would fucking pump it up for you, no bother, you know? Like, just a pure good guy. And everybody in the school proper liked him. Even the wee bams pure loved him. So anytime MD tried any shit with him, he was like a fucking protected citizen. So we had like an actual like protection racket going with a Janny. Because he was
fantastic.
class.
Well, we had a couple of teachers like that, and it was pretty cool. But, yeah, the headmaster was just one of those kind of like, you just didn't cross him. And as stories from my kind of my dad's era at Castlehead, the only time I really ever heard of. Well, it was more the other way around. One of his there was a punk in his class. This was in the 80s. Guy had a massive mohawk and kept like spraying it with hairspray to keep it up. The teacher was like, "Get rid of that," or "I'm taking it." Next thing, the teacher was seen screaming, running through the hallways because said punk had lit the can of aerosol on fire and was chasing him with it.
Better hope none of that flame goes onto the hair that's covered in the flammable substance.
Exactly.
That's my first thought.
Oh,
What the fuck is going on over here? What are you doing?
No.
Across the known universe, we have tens, perhaps hundreds of tens of explorers.
I'm going to watch this full video on the computer later. I'm not watching it on teeny weeny iStreno vision. Right, what do I need? Required element. Oh shit, I gotta go get my stuff, then I died. God fucking damn it, right, okay.
Right. So shall we actually
teachers,
get...
I didn't even know mine until like 5th year. That just means that you were a well-behaved child. If you can get through your school year without the teachers learning your name, you're probably going to be a prefect, to be honest.
Aye, you're doing it alright.
Yeah, well, I had no shot at that prefect shit. No way.
I get made a prefect in 5th year, and then I got made senior prefect in 6th year, which was apparently a much bigger deal, because apparently when it was called out at assembly, it was just this kind of hush went around the room of like, fuck, the golf. And I stomped up on the stage to get my little badge or whatever, the headmaster, and just kind of looked me up and down, and could see him like eyeing my new rock boots, and I was just like, thanks.
That's who you want. You want a fucking heavy that everybody's scared of. You don't want to get to some. You don't want to get to like the wee wallflower that's going to be like, excuse me, can you please not, could you, please not do that, please? No. You want somebody that's like, alright, I heard you've been up to some shit, aye? No, I swear I'm not. Everybody else is like, run, he's got Gina! Oh, that's what you want. That's what you want. Fucking monitoring the halls. Let me in.
Oh, people saying in chat, when I graduated, my teacher handed me my wee Dumbarton Academy mug and said straight to my face and loudly for everyone to hear that it was for tea and not spirits.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I didn't attend any of my leaving things for school.
Oh, I went to them
because
all.
I did not like anyone except my immediate friend group, and I could see them anytime.
See, I had quite a big friend group by the end of school. Kind of all the misfits from the year had kind of banded together eventually, and so we went along to them, but it was alright. I mostly went along for the drinking.
So look, here's the thing, right? What would I rather have been doing? Attending my school's leaving thing, or going to Download Festival? They were on the same day.
Ah, yeah, well, that's understandable.
What you may do. Anyway, right, Harry and Ginny hate one of their Waynes, and that's the focal character. We know this because they have named him after two of the most insidious and evil people in his life. And I would argue if we were going after, like, is one of the kids named fucking Rubius? No?
No.
No?
Although,
I mean, I get that he was a big arsehole, but he was the one that actually saved them.
Although Hermione and Ron's children are Hugo and Rose, and Draco Malfoy's son is Scorpius.
Scorpius?
Yes.
The only other Scorpius... I've only ever seen one other Scorpius in media. He's the bad guy in Farscape. Yeah. And he's like a fucking cyber gimp. That is literally the best description of the cat. Like, look up Scorpius from Farscape, write me out.
Okay.
Tell me cyber gimp isn't exactly how you would describe that.
Oh, and as I was typing that in, the first suggested thing was Scorpius Hyperion Malfoy. So that must be his middle name. Yep,
Hi.
Cybergimp.
Yeah.
Right there. Yep.
Yep. Leather daddy, bad boy.
Oh,
Right there. Old, wrinkly. It's like Darth Sidious was a leather daddy.
yes! Oh. Oh. What I don't get is that right here they've said Harry works as the head of magical law enforcement at the Ministry because he was meant to essentially become an Order and head up the Order office.
Right, so he's like a magic cop now?
Yeah, but more like police commissioner, like that kind of level.
Right, okay, he's Commissioner Gordon, but for magical bullshit.
Yeah.
How many laws did you break in your youth, Harry? What is this?
Yep. Well, there is a couple of occasions, one in particular where Harry and Ron and Hermione have saved the day, and Dumbledore's like, now I would nominate you for an Order of Merlin, which is like the magical kind of awards that are offered for like chivalry and innovation. But it was like, you would have got one, but I can't nominate you because you broke far too many school rules. So yeah, here, have 100 points instead.
Yeah, he's like... Harry's like the magical equivalent of Stephen Fry. He just can't be knighted. This would be like... This would be like if, you know, like, in Batman, they were like... I know he breaks the law literally every time, but he does have a stellar record for bringing people in. So look, we're going to make Batman the new Chief Commissioner. Which kind of did happen in the comics. I'm using this as a segue to stay away from Harry Potter for a minute. Kind of happened in the comics, kind of. There was a little while where Bruce was, you know, dead, but not really, because they can't kill him. He'll come back eventually, he always does. But he was dead, and the city decided that they needed a Batman, but they were going to use this opportunity to have like a state-controlled Batman.
Yeah.
So they built Jim Gordon a mech suit. And he's running around in this like Jaeger suit that's like slightly bat themed. It was crazy. He shaved his head and shaved the mustache off and got into like a marine uniform. And people were like, "Whoa, Jim, you look so young. You look amazing." And in the comic, he's like, "I'm not even 40." So I really don't know where in the timeline this is supposed to take place, because Barbara is like a grown-ass woman at this point, so I don't know, unless Jim had a kid at 15.
Maybe. Oh, and, well, the next couple of jobs here. So yeah, Jenny is the editor of the sports section of the Daily Prophet, which is, I don't know, a little lazy, but fair enough.
Sports section? Was she ever that into Quidditch?
Yeah, so towards the kind of latter end of the book, she was mad for Quidditch, and even there's a section in the book at the Burrow when Ginny's quite young, and they all decide to have a little game of Quidditch between them. And even though she's on like a really slow, old Weasley hand-me-down broom, she still like outflies all of her brothers, and even Harry's got to like struggle to keep up. And there was kind of, I don't know if it was ever fully confirmed, but there was talk of like Jenny going on to join a Quidditch team.
Yeah, like, you would think that if she was that naturally good at playing it, she would go on to play or coach it instead of writing about it. That's okay. Because
like at this point, well, Harry would have been in 7th year. So he'd have been 17, and this is 17 years later. So he's 34 and she's 33. So even as a Quidditch player, like, it's not as if she would have retired out of it that young.
Well, I mean, you've got to ask yourself, at what point would a Quidditch player retire, given that it's a totally different, like, it's a pretty contact-heavy sport for sure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, what happens if you break your bone? You just get bone regrow poured on you and you're sound.
Not even that. You just cast a spell and it fixes the bone instantly.
If that's an option, then what the fuck is bone regrow even a thing for?
Bone regrowth obviously exists because spells.
No. Hang on. No.
Okay.
Are you telling me that there is an instant fix option and there is a very slow and quite painful option, and the school optionally administers the latter.
No. The school didn't administer the latter. Lockhart did, because he essentially lied his way into fame and lied his way into being this fantastic magician, when in fact he was very gifted with memory charms, but other than that, magic wasn't great for him. And
At the point he administered this, was he the registered school physician?
No.
Right, so he essentially dosed a child with a slow and painful... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he should be in jail, right?
I mean, yeah, but other Defense Against the Dark Arts teachers, like one of them actually like used quills and truth serum to torture her students, and
yeah, but she
another
was like...
one that was actively out to kill some of the students.
Yeah, but the thing with, like, when it was Sir Coupon that was doing it, she was actually, like, implanted there by the Dark Lord to specifically do things like this, so there wasn't going to be any checks and balances in place to make sure she was doing things okay, but the first guy was like, surely what is the wizarding equivalent of a registered accredited teacher with, like, qualifications, training, resume, all that kind of thing? Well, actually, no, never mind, based on who we've seen hired, there is no fucking etiquette for hiring in the wizard world. It's literally just nepotism and whoever's available at the time. So, you know what, forget it, we'll forget that there's any kind of child protection laws in place here, there isn't, it's fucked.
Let's move along.
Yep.
Because here we go. Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger also send their daughter Rose on the train. Hermione is now the Minister for Magic, while Ron manages Weasley's Wizard Weasley's, the joke shop in Diagon Alley, with his brother George.
See, if he wasn't a Slytherin hat, he would have gone further in life. Yep.
He gets to manage a shop while his wife kind of runs the wizarding world in Britain.
That's such a that's like when you see these like celebrity couples and it's like world famous actor works with or is married to the shop assistant he met when he was 16. It's just like, oh, good for you. You know, like they would expect the wizard, whatever her job title is, to be with somebody that's like also equally as accredited. It's like, no, he runs a shop that sells farts.
Yep.
Yeah, like farts in a can. Yeah, it's a family shop.
God. So now that we've had this kind of introduction, and obviously at the very end of chapter 7 of the Potter series, on that platform they do see an adult Draco with his wife Astoria and their son Scorpius. So, aboard the Hogwarts Express, Albus befriends Scorpius Malfoy, the son of Harry's former foil, Draco. In a break with the tradition of Potters being sorted into Gryffindor, Albus is sorted into Slytherin alongside Scorpius.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It does make sense. Where am I? I've just lost my place. What happened?
I mean, that's what happens when you set your weight up with names like that.
Yeah.
You've really put them on the back foot right off the get-go, haven't you?
Pretty much. Both boys are bullied over the next couple of years, with Albus perceived as failing to live up to his parents, and Scorpius being rumoured to be the son of Lord Voldemort. Astoria, his mother, has... Yep. Rumoured to be the son of Voldemort.
Uh-huh. The Dark Lord pumped your mom. It's a typical Wayne shite, like something like the milkman's your dad, but it's actually the evilest guy on earth.
Yeah, it's... I mean, that would have been alright though. Like, the actual truth is so much worse, but we'll get to that.
Harry pumped her.
No.
He went back and he was like, get off you, Draco. Now you need to raise a Wayne that looks like me for the next 18 years. You should have been nicer to me.
That would have been good.
You shouldn't have hit me on that train. I've held on to this for decades, Draco. Pay my child support. Feed him every day, 3 times, you fuck.
Oh my god.
Feed my seed, Draco, feed my seed.
Oh my god.
Ah.
Oh.
Now I'm imagining. Oh no, it's just got a spin off. Now I'm imagining Draco, and he's sitting on like fucking the wizard of equivalent of Jeremy Kyle. And he's like, I don't know. I was told that Potter was the dad, and I just don't know what to do. And Harry's sitting there the whole time, like, yeah. The crowd are all cheering because they know who he is, and they think Draco's a wee fanny. And then, who would the wizard Jeremy Kyle be?
Oh, that's it. Xenophilius Lovegood.
No, it's Luna.
It is Luna. Oh my god, yeah.
Draco, you think that the Dark Lord had sex with your wife, but it might actually have been Harry. Oh no. Well, I asked the spirits to look inside the tummy of your missus to see if there was any clues, and we found a shoe print the exact size of Harry's. Luna, what the fuck are you talking about? Join us next week.
Oh god.
She'd be like Lorraine Skelly.
Yes. Oh, I need someone to write that or animate that or something. That would be amazing.
What, Luna as Lorraine Kelly? But just a pure shit version.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
Today we're joined by Britain's oldest muggle. We have the power to cure you of all your ailments, but we won't because you were born different. Teehee. Luna.
Oh, Luna, you can't say things like that.
I mean, they do though.
True, they do.
They haven't.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was in charge of the Wizarding World, personally, I would just infiltrate an organised religion and have all the magic workers pretend to be healers, which would then garner infinite support, infinite resources, and then I've essentially got control of the world. Because if you're in control of the only faction that can cure all ailments by just a touch, you win.
Yeah, you kind of do. Weaponized magic. Oh, I like that.
It's right there. It's not even hard. People have been doing it without magic for fucking centuries, so what happens if you can actually cure people?
Oh.
What happens if they groomed Harry from birth to think he was Jesus fucking Christ, and they just sent him back out when he was 11 into the world and just said, Harry, we've taught you literally one spell, and it's a cure spell.
Yeah.
Just go and cast that on as many people as you can and see what happens. What do you think would happen? Society would collapse under this child's feet.
You would probably need a couple of spells, because curing spells, so there's certain spells for
What more do you need than a guy that can get people out of a wheelchair?
healing wounds, broken bones, etc., regrowing bones and ligaments, things like that. But even things with like diseases or things that build up like in the system, you could even use transfiguration to transfigure unhealthy cells into healthy cells.
Right, so like, why have they not done this? This seems like they could literally control. Voldemort should have done that.
Yeah.
It would have taken about the same amount of time.
Yeah. Probably.
Except,
yeah.
like, what are the wizards going to do? Are they going to use magic against what is essentially their version of civilians / animals?
I mean,
is there
very
such
true.
a thing as a wizard civilian?
So that squibs basically. So a squib is someone who, like the opposite of a muggle-born, a kid who's been born from a wizarding family that has no inherent magical ability. So Filch, the caretaker of Hogwarts, he was a squib, and Mrs. Fig, the neighbour of the Dursleys in Privet Drive, was also a squib because she was placed there to keep eyes on Harry.
Right, but like, what's just down to the brass tacks of it? What is the difference functionally between Filch and Hermione's dad? they are both people that know about magic, and neither of them can do it. So what's the just because one was born from a magical family, does he have the potential to learn and the other one doesn't?
No. So the theory is that there was an interesting theory I was reading that Hermione came from a long line of squibs. And like that's kind of how squibs came around, or like how Muggle-born kids came around originally, because there was like a squib further back in the family.
I'm not asking for tinfoil hat shit. I'm asking for the brass tacks here, right?
Well, there's only kind of one scene where we get like a little bit of that. It was filmed, but I'm pretty sure it was deleted. I'm pretty sure you can get the deleted scene somewhere, but essentially when Harry and Ron have flew the Ford Anglia to Hogwarts, and Filch drags them to the dungeons, and Snape starts berating them. As Filch goes to leave, Harry notices that he's dropped something, and he picks it up for him, and Filch gets very, very embarrassed and shuffles off. And it's like a correspondence course for teaching magic to squibs.
Yeah, but you know that there's people in the real world that sell magic to people.
Yeah.
I don't know who would do something like that, but you can't see how shifty my eyes are right now. But you know, it's like fucking. So is that an authentic correspondence course, and squibs do have the potential to learn magic, and this is actually a service that can unlock some potential in them, or is this just some snake oil bullshit in the wizarding world?
That was never made clear.
Right, okay,
He
so
was maybe doing it as like a last resort kind of thing to try and learn, but it was never like fully explained. The only other time squibs were really mentioned were Goblet of Fire, when Hermione had asked Victor Crumb about like, oh well, if you don't have house elves, like how do you keep your school and like the castle clean? And we're like, oh, we have squibs.
Actual slaves?
We have squibs that have magical items to help them do their cleaning.
That's so much more unethical.
Yeah, but Durmstrang was also meant to be seen as the dark, kind of mystical school that kind of had a reputation for teaching the dark arts rather than defense against them.
Is that the Russian one?
Yeah, sort of. That kind of area. Never exactly placed, I don't think. But Victor Crumb did play for Bulgaria, so somewhere in that region.
Why is this a little bit different? I guess I need the acid. Is there any acid plants around here? Are you an acid plant?
That'd be convenient.
Maybe?
But yes, where are we? So, yes, Albus and Scorpius become the best of friends. Get bullied, and then Scorpius's mother passes away due to a fatal disease. So, I guess there must be magical diseases that can't be cured.
I wonder if it was like in Spider-Man, you know, because obviously like the Dark Lord was just going to town on her apparently. So I wonder if it was like in Spider-Man when they found out that Mary Jane had like some kind of mad cancer because Spider-Man was shooting his spider load in her.
Yeah.
And it was just filling her full of fucking radiation. Oh, it just takes a while to work.
Good start. I need more samples though.
Right, okay, I get it now. Could probably melt those other ones then.
Yeah. So apparently, while he's at school, Albus kind of drifts apart from his dad, with Harry being uncertain about how to help Albus. The summer before his 4th year, Albus gets into a fight with Harry, after being given the latter's baby blanket and a love potion from Ron. During the fight, Harry angrily says that he sometimes wishes Albus was not his son, and Albus spills the potion on the blanket.
Harry, you can't say that. Is Harry meant to be an arsehole, like, as a parent? I know he was one as a youth, but you're in your 30s, man. Come on.
And then Harry obtains a prototype of a more powerful version of the Time Turner, which allows one to travel in the past and change history.
Harry,
Yeah.
see how I said that you hate your Wayne because you named him that? That was a joke. I didn't realise that was the plot.
Simultaneously, Harry's scar starts hurting again, raising concerns that Voldemort may be returning. Amos Diggory, who is cared for by his niece, Delphi, asks Harry to use the Time Turner to prevent the death of his son, Cedric. After overheating, Harry refused to help the Diggorys. Albus is inspired to do so, and convinces Scorpius to help him. The two escape from the Hogwarts Express to visit Amos, and they team up with Delphi to steal the Time Turner from Hermione's office in the Ministry of Magic.
That's a time heist! So you're telling me... Hang the fuck on. So you're telling me that Hermione took over as the head honcho, and she, the smart one, didn't go, by the way, there is a hella hole in our security that we exploited like you would not believe. I'm sure it's well documented since we were discovered and there was a giant chase sequence, but you know, we should probably do something about that. See all that water we've got just pumping down in one part of the course down there on a track? Maybe we should filter some of that and put it in the toilets or on the floor or something. In the sprinklers, in the air. Just, can you not turn that shit into steam and just lightly steam every room? It's water.
Or they could just control the potion ingredients. So one of the ingredients is boomslang skin, so they would just need to track all the boomslangs in the country.
That seems way more complicated than just using the thing that's in their basement that already melts the thing that... Is it? They have to stand in water to get in?
I mean, yeah.
They're magic. It wouldn't be, unless the water only works in that specific location, at which point you're magic, change the entrance to there.
And the, well, you've also got the visitor's entrance that they go through in Order of the Phoenix, which is in a Muggle telephone box.
Which again, would need pish all over the floor to blend in. And how easy would it be for that pish to be magic pish? I'm sure if you pish into the magic river that melts your disguise, it's not going to... like, if it turns out human urine is what is like the counter spell for actual magic, then maybe that's why they've not tried a war with us.
Maybe.
It's honestly the only thing I can think of at this point that would explain why they've not used that and why Hermione's not... I don't know. Anyway, Hermione's an idiot.
Yes, although they all turn out to be idiots. Now we're going on to Act 2. As Cedric's death was the result of him winning the Triwizard Tournament alongside Harry, the boys use the Time Turner to travel back to the first tournament challenge. They disguise themselves as Durmstrang students to sabotage Cedric and prevent his victory. The plan fails, and the disguises cause Hermione to become suspicious of Victor Krum, a Durmstrang student, and she goes to the Yule Ball with Ron instead.
Do you know what is even more terrible about all of this? Is that the time that they've travelled back to, Dumbledore's alive.
Yes.
There is no shot he isn't aware of this and he's just letting it ride.
Oh yeah, he'll be like, Potter's kids are in here. Like he would just like have this kind of like, the mustache would twitch slightly. And he'd be like, there's more Potters in here.
Oh
and
man,
like,
he'd be sitting stroking his beard like it was turning him on.
Yeah, pouring another glass of wine and going, let's see what happens.
Yeah, he has that meme of just sitting down with a popcorn bucket. He's just sitting here like, Potter's Wayne travelled back in time and he's going to fuck up the timeline. Oh, yes!
And then he sits there and he's sitting just reveling in it because he's like, that means all the torture was worth it. The plan worked.
There's literally no point. There's no point in this story, or any preceding story, or any future story where I'm not going to be convinced that there isn't a council of Albuses, like the Council of Ricks, and they all just sit and talk about how in their timeline they fucked with Harry, and they all just stroke their beards in unison and go,
Oh, but they've all done it in slightly different ways, so there's slightly different people that have died.
Oh, yeah. They're trying to figure out the master formula. It's like Deathloop for them. They're trying to figure out who to kill in the right order to unlock the true ending.
Oh, God, yeah. So, yes. Hermione goes to the Yule Ball with Ron, rather than Victor Krum. And, like, okay. But as a result, Ron never experiences the jealousy fundamental to his relationship with Hermione, and the two never marry.
If your marriage is based on jealousy...
Yeah.
No, I don't need to say it.
No. Ron instead falls in love with Padma Patil at the ball, and Hermione becomes a frustrated professor at Hogwarts. Albus is now in Gryffindor.
A frustrated professor. Hermione's get 2 wands.
Most definitely.
Oh no. She's like, I know about this because my mom's a muggle and I found it when I was away. That was actually her first wand.
Yep. Oh,
like,
God.
Abracadabra. I can feel the magic.
Oh, Scott's come in chat with getting that grandfather paradox in nice and early, eh, guys? Like, yup.
Oh,
exactly.
Oh, Albus would be at that, wouldn't he? Excuse me, young Durnstrom students. Have you met these two over here? Why don't you come over here? Slughorn, love potion. Now, don't ask. Just give me it.
Oh, God. So, while all this is going on, in the present day, Harry has nightmares about Voldemort. The centaur Bane tells Harry that a dark cloud is around Albus.
Wait,
Convinced that...
the who?
The centaur Bane. So, Bane we came across... we met... Oh, I suppose we'd friends more in the movies. But Bane was like the other kind of named centaur.
Oh, I totally whiffed on there one being called Bane. Can you imagine that? Ah, you think Harry is your ally?
Oh my God.
You think Hagrid is your ally?
Oh, that would have been wonderful. The butterbeer effect, Scott has christened it.
You merely adopted the magic. I was born in it, molded by it.
Oh, so he's told Harry there's a dark cloud around his son, and of course Harry's then convinced that Draco's kid is a threat, so he tries to separate the boys at Hogwarts by attempting to force Headmistress Minerva McGonagall to keep tabs on Albus during using the Marauder's map.
Oh, that's nice that after her husband died, she took over.
Yes.
It's a family business after all.
Yep. So, Albus and Scorpius' friendship is destroyed. But the two reconcile after Albus's older brother, James Sirius, has they essentially steal Harry's old invisibility cloak from James Sirius. Which all through this is just referred to as James Sirius. Okay.
Yeah, that's Dean Thomas.
Yep, it's the Dean Thomas.
Oh my God, no, wait. What if, right? Harry said that he wished that Albus Severus wasn't his son.
Yep.
What if, right, they've travelled back in time, Dumbledore's onto it, he fucks with things, Harry ends up with Dean Thomas as his son.
Oh my God. That would be insane.
It would come full circle, and Dean Thomas is very intelligent and respectable. He's exactly the kind of son you would want to have, not like that awful Albus Sirius. He is a bad child. He will probably set a fire in a shopping trolley.
Oh, at least.
Anyway, moving on.
So Harry relents after a conversation with Draco and Ginny. Meanwhile, Albus and Scorpius make another attempt to use the Time Turner to save Cedric, this time by humiliating him during the Triwizard Tournament's second task. When Scorpius returns to the present day this time, Albus is not with him. Dolores Umbridge reveals that Harry is dead and Voldemort rules the wizarding world. I told you this was nonsense.
It's Endgame.
Yeah, it kind of is Endgame.
It's Harry Potter Endgame. We're doing the greatest hits and the what ifs. This is mental.
Oh, it really is.
This is like this is the kind of fan fiction that I would write as a piss take.
No, it's been
Should
done.
I start doing
love
that?
It. Yeah.
Should I start writing piss take fanfics?
Well, that could be your homework for next week. Even if you want to like write it and then I'll read it out while you're gaming. But
hello, friends.
Once we've done Cursed Child, you could do your own Potter fanfic.
Oh my god, I'm genuinely considering it.
Oh, and obviously if you wanted any kind of lore points like, oh, how does this work, how does that work, just to kind of work into your wee story, but I'd be very interested to see what you come up with.
Hey, if the real published fanfic doesn't need to understand the lore, neither do I.
Oh, well, it does refer to a lot of points in the lore, because now we're in Act 3. Scorpius discovers that his actions caused Cedric to join the Death Eaters and kill Neville Longbottom, preventing him from killing Nagini and allowing Voldemort to win the Battle of Hogwarts.
Preventing him? The only reason he killed Nagini is because he had the sword? Are you telling me that events played out so that literally nobody else had the sword? Ginny was right there.
But the sword presenting itself to a Gryffindor in the time of need, generally it's done after like an inspiring speech, although it was never like fully explained, so yeah, maybe it needs some kind of vocal component. And it needs to hear like Voldemort, that Gryffindor's honours being defended, and it appears. Maybe.
Wasn't that being stored at like Dumbledore's gaff or something? Where was that?
So the sword of Gryffindor basically had been in Dumbledore's office right the way through like the entire series up until round about the start of Book 7, because Dumbledore had died. Snape had it in his office, but then he got word from Voldemort, who essentially wanted it hidden away because obviously they'd found out that it is impregnated with basilisk venom and therefore can kill Horcruxes, so that needs to be kept out of the way. So it was meant to be in Bellatrix Lestrange's vault. Turned out to be a fake, but Harry and Ron and Hermione lost the sword to Griphook because that was his price for getting them into Gringotts. So technically the sword would have been with Griphook, who would have been all happy because it was finally back to the goblins. And then, a couple of weeks later, Neville's like, yeah, fight for our freedom and whatever, like that has his little inspiring leader speech. It appears to him and Griphook's just sat there, fuck. Raging.
This thing hasn't attacked me, so I don't want to attack it.
It's imposing, but
I'm waiting
maybe it's waiting for you to get close.
I'm waiting for it to make the first move.
But yes, so Voldemort wins the Battle of Hogwarts because Nagini lives. So with Harry now dead, Albus had never existed. And while Voldemort was able, while Voldemort was able to consolidate power and transform the Ministry of Magic into a dictatorial regime, in the new timeline, Scorpius became a popular head boy and Quidditch star, helping the staff and students torment Muggleborns. Oh my. Umbridge became the new headmistress of Hogwarts and patrols the school with Dementors and a revived inquisitorial squad led by Scorpius.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the right. Yep, just let's just go on.
Yep, sure, why not? Makes sense.
Yeah. So
Checks
now,
out.
rather than a minister of magic, we have a dark figure called the Augury leading the ministry. With the help and sacrifice of alternate Ron, Hermione, and Severus Snape, Scorpius uses the Time Turner to prevent his and Albus's past actions and restore the original timeline. Scorpius reunites with Albus, and the two are found by their parents, as well as Ron and Hermione. Harry scolds Albus, but the two begin to reconcile. Realising the danger Time Turner poses, Scorpius and Albus attempt to destroy him. When they are joined by Delphi, who was mentioned earlier as Amos Diggory's niece, who'd been looking after him. Scorpius notices that Delphi's got a tattoo of an augury, and realises she was in charge of the Ministry of Magic in the alternate timeline. Because, of course, Delphi takes them captive, killing a fellow student in the process, and reveals her intention of restoring the alternate timeline.
Oh god.
Oh. Yeah, there's quite a bit to unpack here.
A little, yeah. Do I have to? Oh, I have to shoot them. I don't have to throw the bombs at them. Okay. Holy shit! This arena is like a Miyazaki wet dream. What are all these tongues? Okay, keep going.
Oh god.
I need my distractions.
Your distractions. Okay. So yeah, Delphi has killed a student, kidnapped Scorpius and Albus, and reveals her intentions. After Ron states that he saw Albus and Scorpius with Delphi, Harry and Draco confront Amos, and discover Delphi has bewitched him into thinking she was his niece. Delphi takes the boys to the final challenge of the Triwizard Tournament, but Albus and Scorpius foil her plans. And Delphi uses the Time Turner again to travel further back in time. She inadvertently takes the boys with her, and destroys the Time Turner to leave them stranded in time. Yeah. Searching Delphi's room, Ginny, Harry, Draco, Hermione and Ron discover hidden writing on the walls, claiming Delphi is the daughter of Voldemort and describing a prophecy that will allow Voldemort to return.
Who's the mum? Was it Draco's missus? Did he actually? Where did you go? I need the answers. Back. You can't do this to me.
Hello?
How could you do this?
My cable went. So, it's not Draco's missus. It is definitely not. We will find out in a little bit who it is, but it's not her.
It's secreting some kind of goop.
Oh. So, we're on to Act 4.
Real nasty.
Albus and Scorpius discover they have been taken back to the night before Harry's parents were killed. They write an invisible message on Harry's baby blanket, knowing in the present the blanket would become stained with a love potion and expose the message, which read, Dad, help, Godric's Hollow, 31st of the 10th, 81.
What?
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Exactly. It's, yeah. It's so bad.
Oh no, all I'm hearing is all of the Starfleet bullshit about respecting the like Prime Directive.
Yes. Oh, it's all manners of screwed up. Continuing. Meanwhile, Draco reveals the Time Turner was actually a prototype for a perfected model owned by him.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
No, it
After-
wasn't. Shut up. I don't believe you.
After Harry receives the message from the boys, he and his allies use Draco's time turner to travel back in time to save them and stop Delphi. They deduce she intends to convince Voldemort to abandon his attempt to kill Harry, ensuring his survival.
That's her plan.
Yeah, oh yeah.
She's gonna go and have a word with him.
Yep.
Listen, Baldy, I know that he killed you in that and foiled your plans and this is all you live for and all that, but have you thought about no?
Well, Harry magically disguises himself as Voldemort to distract Delphi.
How?
Either a very powerful illusion charm or some kind of, probably Polyjuice, because that's what we fall back onto this story.
For fuck's sake.
After a struggle, the group subdues her. Rather than killing Delphi, they decide that she will be given a life sentence in Azkaban prison. Voldemort appears, oblivious to Harry and the group, and they allow the murder of Harry's parents to play out, unwilling to risk altering the future again.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's Flashpoint now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh well, Barry's mum had to die, Harry's mum had to die.
After returning to the present, Delphi is sent to Azkaban. Albus and Scorpius decide to be more active at Hogwarts, with Scorpius expressing interest in trying out for the Slytherin Quidditch team and asking Rose to be his friend. Harry and Albus visit Cedric's grave, with Harry apologising for his role in Cedric's death. The end.
That's touring in theatres, is it?
Yes. Still.
That's making people money, is it?
Oh yeah, it's making stupid money because
that's all it takes.
Joanne confirmed it as part of the canon. Oh, and seeing as it wasn't mentioned in that plot summary, the mother of dear Delphi was the one and only Bellatrix Lestrange.
Oh, he pumped her. She's rotten. That's bogging. That's like finding out that like the most evil guy in the world was just like a Jakey.
Yep, pretty much.
That's actually stinking, man. Can you imagine that? Ugh. Helena Bonham Carter. Ugh. Even her husband doesn't live in the same house as her.
What husband?
Well, didn't he?
Exactly.
Just.
Yeah, no thanks.
It would be like. She just looks like she smells like cat piss.
Voldemort as well, though, like the whole like red eyes and like nose, well, lack of nose.
I think he would more smell like, you know, when you've not eaten for a while and your breath goes a bit weird.
I was thinking more like cold, clinical, like just no smell at all, just nothing, just smells clean.
Yeah, he smells sterile.
Yeah, exactly. Almost chemical.
Yeah, okay, I could maybe. Oh shit, I'm gonna die. Yeah, I could maybe see that, but again, I just feel like. Oh, fuck's sake. I just feel like there's every possibility as well that we're dealing with somebody who is just like she might hoach at old meat.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know. She just strikes me as the kind of person that I don't even know how to put it into words without getting cancelled.
Temperature 92 degrees. Vital signs nominal.
She's rotten is what I'm saying.
Yes.
She looks like she smells like the Predator's dreadlocks.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's a perfect description. Actually.
Yeah. She looks like she smells like the Predator's dreadlocks. We'll stick with that one.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was a bit of a whistle stop tour of Cursed Child, which is still touring in theatres, and
Well,
I just don't
it's
get it.
inspired me to make millions and billions by just putting some absolute dog shit down on the page. I'll come up with one of these things right now. Alright, so it's the distant future. Harry has accepted his role as one of the most powerful and influential wizards in all of the realm and has decided to take on the role of his mentor and role model Albus Dumbledore as the head of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry.
Okay.
How am I doing so far?
I mean, yeah, this could be pretty solid.
Right, okay. Hermione is dead.
Okay. Bold.
She was a political assassination.
Of course she was.
She was a political assassination from one of the Malfoy family. Not Draco, a different member of the Malfoy family who hates that their new role in the world is not in this privileged position that they were in. And they knew that she was the smart one. They couldn't get to Harry, he's too protected. Doesn't even know Ron's name, nobody gives a fuck about him. So she's the only one. He went to her parents' house. They had no idea who she was, so he murdered them. Hermione, realising that by removing their fucking memory of wizards and all that had left them actually significantly more defenceless, went back to the house to try and... She knew something was up. She was phoning her mum and they weren't answering. She knew something was fucked. So she went back to visit them, and guess who's still waiting there? With a knife!
Oh, I wonder.
The wizards! The Draco, the Malfoy. Maybe I don't tell everybody it's a Malfoy right away. Maybe that's a secret.
It could be, yeah.
Still working on it. Maybe there's a bit of intrigue and mystery, so we don't actually know who. Maybe it's a whodunit. Oh, okay. Well, it's fleshing out. So we don't know it's a Malfoy, right? But
well, that could be. It could be like a cousin of the Malfoys who was like maybe a Malfoy originally and then like married, or the name get changed.
Oh,
because
yeah.
A lot of the pureblood wizarding families are all connected. So Draco is technically Sirius's nephew.
Right, okay, yeah, so we've got one of these crossed over bloodlines.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know who it is? Do you know who it is?
Fair.
It's a Lovegood.
It's a Lovegood.
You would
okay.
have never saw that shit coming.
Oh, you would not.
That's why they got away with it. This is a court of owls strat. this is the I'm gonna get away with it because you don't think I'm capable of doing it. Okay, yeah, this is all coming together. What do you think? Do you think we could make some money off of this?
I'm liking this, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. How's your book coming?
Oh, it's in bits and pieces all over the place.
Apparently I'm something of an author myself.
Seems so. Need to get your fan fiction written down.
I mean, this is essentially like a live journal for it.
Yeah. Right,
What else can we
so
come up with? Right, so Ron's what's happening with Ron? Ron, devastated by the loss of Hermione, has gone off the grid.
living in Hagrid's old hut.
Something similar, but it's not Hagrid's old hut, but it's very,
In the
very
middle
similar.
of the forest.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the Ford Anglia.
Yeah, he's gone like way off the grid. Harry's lost contact with him, but Ron will be the key in the end to getting justice for Hermione. So part of the journey is going to be finding Ron. You know,
bringing him back to civilization.
Ron found them once before, and now it's their turn to find him.
Oh yes, I love it.
All right, and do you know who helps them?
Who?
Who was the brother that died?
Fred.
His ghost.
Oh, that would be good, yeah.
Because Luna can talk to him.
Yeah.
Because she's like, oh, I didn't even notice that he wasn't breathing anymore. He just looked the same to me. But now that you mention it, I do tell them apart because one of them is translucent now. And they're like, what do you mean you didn't realise he was dead? She's like, oh, I thought he just didn't go out much. So, there you go. She pulls it back.
Yep.
So that's how we get the brother back in. That's a wee bit of nostalgia baiting. Fantastic. And then...
Who
let's
all
see.
would be like your roster of teachers? Because you could have. Well, Neville originally there was talk of him going on to become the herbology teacher when Professor Sprout retired.
Yes, Neville would be a teacher, but Neville would not be teaching herbology. Neville would be teaching the brand new class that was created after his heroic deeds in the final film, and he is now teaching the wizards what is essentially wizard fencing. He's basically teaching them how to implement practical tools outside of their wand into their defence, so that if they are ever in a situation like the one they were in, they know how to handle it. So it's basically a self-defense course, but with wands.
And you could have them like enchanting magical weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's going to show them how to use swords, basically, as well as wizards. So we've got a whole new. We've basically really got like Templar Knight wizards in the making here. But maybe one of them's going to be corrupted. Who knows? I don't know. This is basically the start of like a new chapter where we've got swords and wands.
Swords and wands. I like it though.
Well, it's an evolution to the series, isn't it? And it's one of the things that makes sense, because, again, what would have made most of these plans work really well, really quickly? A knife.
Swords.
Yep, a knife, sword, throwing dagger. Something like that. Ent,
A spear,
like that.
an arrow,
Even just a big sharp stick, aye. Ent pointy.
Would Filch still be around?
Filch would be around, but he would no longer be the caretaker. He is too old now, but he's not dead. He's just he's just not got the, because he's a squib, right? He's an old guy now. He's just can't do it anymore. He's just past it. He's retired. So he actually hangs out in Hagrid's hut now, and just kind of gets taken care of by his pal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hagrid's decided to keep him like one of his wild animals.
Like a pet.
I got me a squib. I'm going to make him shag all the things and see what I can get to come out.
Oh no.
It's implied, but it's not actually what he's seen doing. But yeah, he might be.
Yeah, but it's just making me think of Throopy Land's characters from Rick and Morty.
Yeah, it's going to be something like that. Because you know, Hagrid's still at it. Hagrid's a bit older now, but he's still tending the animal. He's basically the same guy. He gave up the teaching and just went back to being a filthy Janny.
Now, as ghosts go, so again, this was more book than film, but the teacher, Professor Binns, who taught history of magic in Potter's time in school, was a ghost. One of the days he got up from his armchair and just left his body behind and just never stopped teaching, but was boring as all hell. So we've obviously had a lot of deaths in and around Hogwarts, especially the Battle of Hogwarts, so we might have some new ghosts as well.
Ooh, yeah. Now, let's see, who could we have as a ghost? Who could we have as a ghost? Ooh, I've got one. So when we're teaching our defense class, we're going to use a ghost as the target dummy, as the test for the students. But because we don't give it a shit about ethics in the wizarding world, that ghost is going to be a slave ghost. It's being used as a dummy against its will. It's Bellatrix.
Oh, how marvellous would that be?
Molly has went on to be a teacher. And she's a damn good one. Defense against the dark arts.
Oh, she would be so good.
Okay, Molly's doing that.
Bellatrix is just in this ghost-proof cage.
Yeah. Ginny is captain of the international women's squad for Quidditch.
No, of course, she would have to be.
Luna is Hagrid's understudy to take over his role when he dies.
Okay.
Who the fuck else was in this movie series? Just start naming characters. I'll tell you who they are. Dean Thomas is he's God. He's ascended. he achieved enlightenment, and his whole body turned into fucking light, and he just floated into the sky.
You had Crab and Goyle.
Hey Ronan. Crab and Goyle. Crab and Goyle are bouncers. They don't work at the school anymore, they work at the pub.
They work at the pub down in
Aye.
Hogsmeade. Yeah, I love
Aye,
it.
they're the doorman at the Hogsmeade. Alright, Crab. No, the night, pal. Oh, come on, we went to school together. Aye, alright.
Yeah, you can totally see that. You've also got Seamus Finnegan, who is a bit of a demolitions expert, was good at blowing shit up.
Aye, Seamus has made a name for himself as the Wizarding World's greatest pyro. He's essentially like, if you want a festival with a fireworks display, he's your man. You know, like when Gandalf shows up at the Shire?
Yeah.
And all the hobbits are fucking blown away by the dragon?
Yeah.
Aye, Seamus does that for a living.
Oh, that would be great.
And he's good at it, man. He lights up the sky.
Oh, that would be good. I'm trying to think who else have we got.
What
We've
is
also
this
got
thing?
I know, that's kind of horrifying looking. A maroon.
You last you maroon. It looks like it's got like just a really hanging fanny for a mouth.
There was a trophy that I'd seen, I remember, from last week, and it was killing a certain amount of the birds and a certain amount of these.
Oh.
If you kill enough of them, we should get a ding.
Well, slatting them didn't seem to actually kill them, so I'm going to need to shoot them. It's a shame. They seem completely like fine, but
yeah,
you know, I'm a monster and needs must.
We've also got all of well, we've got the other Weasley children that survived. So we've covered Ron and Jenny.
Right. Okay. So the surviving brother's running his store still.
Yeah, George is running the wizard shop.
Yes, and he's dedicated like most of it in his brother's name to keep his memory alive.
Of course.
Every time he makes a new product, he still credits his brother as one of the creators. His brother hasn't actually revealed that he is in ghost form because he's fucking with his brother as a ghost and just not told him, because that's way funnier to him than telling him he's a ghost.
Oh, that would have been too good.
But then he has to come out of hiding to help everybody, and they have a really emotional reunion scene. And he's like, "Why didn't you tell me?" And he's like, "It was funny, wasn't it?" No, he's just like, "Alright, fair enough, I'd have probably done the same thing, actually." Right,
Yep.
Anyway, nice to see it.
Yep.
And it's just business as usual, like nothing ever happened. But it's perfect for them.
Oh, it would be. You've also got Percy, who was kind of like a lapdog for the Minister for Magic after he left school.
Percy.
Probably some kind of, still some kind of ministry bureaucrat, but probably never made it very far.
He's in Azkaban.
He's in Azkaban, okay.
Aye, pedo.
Ah, okay.
He had a magic hard drive full of this stuff.
Oh no.
Wizard scandal.
Well, in that case, what about the two oldest brothers? You had Bill, who was the cool one that had the long hair and earring and wore dragon hide boots, and he was a code breaker for Gringotts.
He has gone on to be a professor, or like, you know, the wizard equivalent, teaching code breaking.
That would be cool.
A new generation, because the dark forces are still out there, and they're starting to use more sophisticated tactics, and by that I mean any fucking tactics.
Anything, yeah. And then finally we have Charlie, who was studying dragons in Romania last we heard.
Location to the required upgrade ingredient. Go get it.
Did...
Or don't. Your choice.
Okay.
Your compass has been
Bye, dragon.
Oh yeah, Di don't we loves. He's basically the Wizarding World's equivalent of Steve Irwin. He hosted a huge series of like getting to know them, but he did Fantastic Beasts essentially, but then he got unfortunately and untimely taken away from the Wizarding World, and he is memorialised now as like their version of Steve Irwin.
I could see that. Yeah, probably that horrible horntail that Harry had to deal with. That was probably the one that got him.
Aye, it would be something shite.
Yeah.
Like, he got careless with a boggart and it just got him.
Yeah.
Something.
Who else have we got? We have... Oh, Cho Chang.
Oh, Cho Chang. Ooh. I'm thinking she went on to be a politician in the Wizarding World, and everybody fucking hates her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like super grass.
Oh, I love it.
She's trying to pass some really, like, controversial bills in the Wizard Congress. She's also got a Reddit.
Oh, she would have to have a Reddit.
Aye.
And then I suppose the wizarding adults as well, we can still include because wizards do live for longer. So I think of the younger of the Hogwarts teachers. Flitwick, would he still be teaching?
Who was that again?
The rather short gentleman played by Warwick Davies, the charms teacher, Wingardium Leviosa.
Him. Aye, alright.
Right.
Aye, alright.
Obviously, we've got no Snape anymore. McGonagall was headmistress, but if Harry's now headmaster, then that would imply she's either retired or she's died.
She's probably timed out, aye.
Aye.
Either that, or the events of everything that went on kind of broke her mind a wee bit, and she's... You know, she's also in the wizard care home.
Wizard care home. She wouldn't. Well, if she had went a bit funny, she would be in the Die Llewellyn ward in St Mungo's Hospital for Magical Maladies and Injuries. I'm sad in these things because that's also where Lockhart was held, where Umbridge was, and where Neville's parents are permanent residents.
Yeah, she's had like the magic version of dementia set in just because of the event. It was very traumatic for her. She's a bit of a sensitive soul, you see.
Oh God! Speaking of that, Trelawney.
Who was that?
Professor Trelawney, played by Emma Thompson, the teacher that did like tea leaves and readings.
Oh yeah, the Nutter.
Yes.
Yeah, she wrote a book. So she just she's not a teacher anymore, she's more like a wizard author writing books about like prophecy and divination and shit like that.
And of course she gets attention because of the nepotism. She only got... Dumbledore only interviewed her for the job because she was either the granddaughter or the great-granddaughter of a really famous seer. And Dumbledore was like, well, I kind of need to know that you can teach this, that you can do it too. And he was about to leave, and that was the night that she gave the prophecy of the power to, the one with the power to vanquish the Dark Lord approaches, the whole prophecy that set the Harry Potter plot in motion.
Yeah. So, yeah, she basically writes a book.
Leaves Hogwarts behind. Well then, again, this was more from the book, but it was... You technically could have the Centaurs teaching divination, because that was kind of their jam.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, let's do that.
That would be quite fun. Is there maybe something we need to build to be able to stomp?
Probably. Oh, backpack ground and pound.
There we go.
Element required. Right, so where's the thing? Extract the space juice. The space juice is over there. Fuck. Right, okay. God damn it.
And if Molly is now a teacher, and what's Mr. Weasley up to?
He's still doing more or less the same gig, but he's started a YouTube channel.
A YouTube channel.
Yeah, he's got really into Muggle magic. He found out about like Penn and Teller, and he got really into it. So he started a YouTube channel where he's trying to learn magic tricks.
Oh, that would be so wholesome. I'd watch that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's quite popular. He's got a good following, but some people think it's fake.
Oh, that's adorable.
Sometimes the haters get him down, but people remind him that he can do actual magic, and he's like, oh yeah.
Oh, right. And with this new cast of characters, what would be your storyline be with Harry as headmaster? Is he going to do the same thing that Dumbledore did to him? Is he going to essentially set a child up to fail?
The laws of causality. I'm in a bit of a berserk kick at the minute.
Okay.
So I think we're going to have a very kind of like... Do you know the story of Berserk?
Vaguely, yes.
Okay, so Harry's going to essentially be like the Skull Knight.
Okay.
He's going to have been through it before, see the signs that it's happening again and try his best to intervene and inadvertently do what Dumbledore did and just basically cause everything to happen. So he's still going to be a major player. He's still going to have like a lot of agency in the story, but he is ultimately going to be like a source point for everything that actually takes place. And in the end, will have to maybe sacrifice himself. Maybe he has to. Maybe he figures it out. I don't know yet. I'll see where I feel when we get to it. But yeah, okay. I feel like Harry's gonna have to be the one that sees the signs, tries his best. I mean, he has the early warning system built into his forehead, right?
Yeah.
So he's gonna have to see the signs, start putting the plans into motion to get things to go all right. Oh my god, it's gonna blow up. Whoa! I got launched. Sick. Ow.
Oofed.
And he's gonna have to be like the guiding force, like the Gandalf almost of the group.
We can't tell.
Except he's not that. He's not as wise as he thinks he is,
No,
or he hopes he is. He's still riddled with like anxieties about everything.
Well, what age would you put him at, bearing in mind that Dumbledore was round about the 150, 160 mark when he died?
Yeah, so it's going to follow the timeline so that all these characters' ages make sense. So we won't be too far in the future, and his young age and inexperience is going to lend really heavily into why he is so unsure of himself, because Dumbledore by this point would have had more years on him and more experience, and he'll always be like, oh, but Dumbledore knew more. He'd been training for this his whole life, and you know, blah blah. And I'm just the boy who lived, and I don't know if I can do this, but I have to try because nobody else knows except me, and my friends believe me, thank God. But if it wasn't for them, oh, where would I be? And it's going to be a very humbling experience for him, because he's going to realise that everything that he's achieved is because of everybody else in his life. And he's going to have to come to terms with it and learn what being a real hero is all about.
See, there's kind of an interesting thing with the movies to the films. So Snape and Harry's parents specifically, and somewhat Ron's as well, the aging's kind of off. So Ron's parents were a little older, because Bill Weasley, who's the eldest, was in like first year when Harry's parents were in their last year of school.
Okay.
So Harry's parents are actually a lot younger than we think they are, because we see them in the film as like middle-aged adults, like middle-aged parents, like in the photos and stuff, and the small kind of clips we see of them. But in actual fact, they were like 20-ish when Harry, when they died, when Harry was born, and they hadn't been to get like out of school that long, so they're in their early 20s, and Snape was in his early 20s. So by the time that Harry got to Hogwarts, Snape should have only been in like his mid-30s.
That's why he had such dark chest hair.
Thick carpet of.
Yeah, poking out either over the top of his shirt, or he's wearing his shirt and tie lowriders style, but I haven't quite worked out the logistics on that one.
Yeah. Oh god. But it's kind of interesting, because when I read the book, or the books, I was kind of aware of that. I was aware that they were younger, but then watching the films as a kid, like growing up, I got it in my head that they were older, and it's really hard to try and make that distinction.
Oh.
And of course, the only character that we really ever hear of that's mentioned to be a lot older than Dumbledore is the creator of the Philosopher's Stone, Nicholas Flamel, who in the books was said to have celebrated his 665th birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, well, Philosopher's Stone, alchemy, immortality kind of comes with the territory.
Oh no!
Oh.
Birdie! No. No. Oh, okay, there's another one. Oh man.
Oh, that would have been bad.
Oh man, what the fuck? I need the stompings to get in that one, damn it.
Oh.
Right, let's go and get the thing. That's right, and who, right, is that like all the characters? Well, there will be some new characters as well.
Oh, of course.
Electric fruits.
Well, you could go down the route of what they did for Cursed Child and go, oh, so-and-so married so-and-so, and then they had this kid. And this kid's get this name, and he's a little different from his parents because X.
Yeah, I mean, I can use the campus what? I can use the established, like, canon kids that are on it and put them on campus
Luna's,
as well.
Luna's children.
Oh yeah, loonies. Ooh, shock plants. Sick.
Yeah, Luna would have a squad of children that just get weirder as they went on.
She would have, like, the Pastelle Adams family.
Yeah.
Like, they would all be just conventionally bizarre, but they would all be dressed like they were going to see the new Disney movie.
Yeah. Or like in some kind of Sound of Music-esque picnic outfit.
Yeah, nah, I think they would definitely look like Hatsune Miku stands.
Oh god, yeah, they would.
Yeah, they would all wear cat ear headbands all the time.
Oh no. Yeah, they would. That's horrifying. And because obviously there's a squad of them, they'd be all over Hogwarts in different years, getting into different scrapes with all their different characters.
They're essentially going to be like the magic equivalent of furries.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, like, we're going to start... Oh man, maybe Hagrid's weird, big Shagrid's weird experiments with the things has led to, like, druids.
Druids? Oh god.
I don't know.
And let's hope not. Let's hope that he never actually convinces any of the giants to move to the Forbidden Forest, because then the experiments would get dangerous, really dangerous.
Fucking earthquakes. What's happening? Be like, oh, Hagrid's family are
at it again.
Yeah, they're making a new member.
Although,
Don't think about it.
It's certainly possible, given that Hagrid himself was half giant and his dad was a wizard.
God, where were the giant wizards in all the war? They would have been useful.
Well, the wizards. It wasn't essentially like giant wizards. It was giants are like their own thing. They're their own race. They don't necessarily have magic. It's just brute force and strength because of their size. But Hagrid's father met a female giant, and they fell in love and had a child. And then she left, I think, when he was 6 years old or something like that.
Me gone, little man. Where is... There's got to be a grapple plant around here, so that's probably it. Yeah, grapple seeds. There's always one nearby where you need it. The game's quite good that way.
Yeah.
I assume I'm going up this
Scott's
way.
just came through the door and handed me another can of Monster.
Nice. My man.
Yeah.
What a sweetheart. Glad he's home safe.
Yes, we're glad he's home safe.
So yeah, we should totally work on this fan fiction together though.
We should.
Yeah, because if it's gonna go somewhere and make hundreds of billions of monies. Oh god, we'll have to have like we're gonna have to be really political with some of the characters, aren't we?
Yeah, very actually.
Oh shit. Okay, right. So there's a trans teacher and a gender neutral bathroom in Hogwarts now. It's cool. And everybody, it's like Star Trek. All right.
Yeah.
Can we get
Just
away
a little
with
bit of everything.
it? Yeah. Think we can get away with it.
Yeah, I think we can get away with it.
I'm pretty sure people would know that we went badman if we just say, look, we read this thing and we thought it's such dog shit, it's so easy, we could do better.
Yeah, we're gonna fix it.
We don't, well, one of us does, but I don't actually care about it.
but a bit of like all the storylines and of all the kind of tropes that they could have went for. The time travel was so obvious. Like, even after we had the kind of time travel shenanigans in book/film 3, and then all the time turners were tragically destroyed in book/film 5, and then we couldn't utilise them anymore.
It's because they were too powerful.
Yeah, so you know what? We're just going to resurrect a new one for this terrible story.
It's just Endgame.
Yeah.
Which, again, right, here's the first thing you would do if you had a time turner. You would just go back to when there was hundreds of them, when they were all in that one room, and just grab a handful.
Yeah, you could do that, but you would need to go to protect the timeline. You would probably need to go essentially like a day or two before Harry and the gang went to the Department of Mysteries.
You could be in there and out while it was happening.
True, but you would also need to get in and out of the Department of Mysteries.
Oh well, if only I had some Polyjuice potion.
Well, there's that.
Oh dear, getting into the Department of Mysteries, that sounds very difficult.
Well, and again, it covered a little bit more in the books, but it wasn't exactly explained, oh, this is exactly how they get into the Department of Mysteries. They fly across London on Thestrals and just get in, manage to infiltrate.
It really did not seem that hard.
No. But yeah, I would definitely be down for collaborating on something like this. If anybody's got any ideas from even stuff that you didn't like about the Potter films, Potter books, that you think could have been done a lot better, we would definitely be open to suggestions, because there's a lot of material to play with.
There's a lot of repairs needing done.
Yeah, there's a lot of magical creatures and stuff that we could utilise as well. The Fantastic Beasts. Well, the first Fantastic Beasts film has a lot of magical creatures that are mentioned in the Potter books, mentioned in the Fantastic Beasts book, and some new ones, and they're really cool, and they're designed really well, and you get a little bit of like lore about them, like, oh, they can do this, they can do that, and it's quite interesting. And then it kind of drops off, and the second film has a couple more of them. And in the third film, there's only like one new creature we find out about, and it's like a central plot point to the whole story, and it's just god awful.
I think I know what you're talking about just from like YouTube videos that I've seen. Is this some fucking like spirit deer?
Essentially, yes.
And they base an entire like hierarchy around this animal's like animal instincts.
Yeah.
Sure. It's like choosing the new pope by seeing who gets shat on by the dove first.
Yeah. I mean, the way they choose the new pope is kind of mental as well, but yeah, still not quite that bad. And even though it looks like a deer, the creature, which was a chillin, was a half dragon, half horse magical beast with the ability to see into a person's soul and possessed precognitive abilities.
That reeks of Hagrid.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah, that absolutely reeks of Hagrid. He was definitely that's one of his things.
Apparently hailing from China.
Mm-hmm. What's that wee magnet on your fridge there, Hagrid? Oh, I was just on a wee trip there. I was down the pub and I met this fella. He had this wee thing in a cage that would sing this wee song. It was called a Mogwai. He had some other stuff too.
Oh dear.
Right, that is that.
Well, seeing as we have a little bit of time, again, I will quickly go through a little bit about probably the best of the Fantastic Beasts films, which was the first one, because that's the one where we actually get a decent amount of creatures in it.
Okay.
Where are we?
Yeah, that's nailed it.
So, right. Start of Fantastic Beasts, and I have issue with this, because again, it's immersion and story breaking. In 1926, British wizard and magizoologist Newt Scamander arrives in New York City.
Okay.
Because magizoologist is just his job title, just what he does. Likes animals, he's good with them.
Right.
And he's just got off the boat, got his magical suitcase filled with his magical creatures, and observes a Bible-thumping woman going on about the preaching that witches and wizards are real and they're dangerous.
She knows!
And while she's talking, so he's distracted, his case kind of slips open, just ever so slightly, and his Niffler escapes. Now, a Niffler is a creature that...
Oh no, he had a niffle slip.
Yeah, a Niffle slip. A Niffler, kind of like a mole, but with like a beak, almost like a platypus, but like small and round and dumpy and kind of adorable. But the Niffler's thing is gold and jewels and shiny things.
Right.
But it's obsessive. Like, it gets the snip of one and that's it, it's off. So it disappears. He goes to essentially chase him, and while trying to find him, he meets a muggle, or rather, a nomage, because that's what the Americans call muggles.
Oh.
Yep. And he's sitting in the bank, and he's waiting to try and get a loan, because he wants to open a wee bakery. And he meets Newt, and all of a sudden all hell breaks loose. And of course they unwittingly swap suitcases. Yep.
That's lazy.
It is so lazy.
That's so lazy. That's the plot from fucking Home Alone 3.
Yeah. It's a plot from a lot of shit.
Oh, grab the ledge, you asshole. I would kind of adore Jacob as a character, don't I think? Don't you think? Who's Jacob? What does he do?
I'm not entirely sure who he's referring to. Oh, right, the Muggle.
Oh.
You would probably love him. He's played, I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but the guy who played Hutch in Fanboys.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I like that guy.
Yeah, so he's really, really good, and obviously he's brand new into this magical world and has no clue what's going on, but just gets taken along for the ride. And our kind of main lady, Tina Goldstein, who was an Order, or kind of used to be an Order, she was demoted, of the Magical Congress of the United States, so the US Ministry for Magic, which is acronym down to MACUSA.
MACUSA?
Yeah.
That's awful, that sounds like a genetic condition.
It does, it sounds terrible. So she arrests Newt for breaking magical law.
Makes sense.
Since the suitcase is in his possession only contains Jacob's baked goods, Newt is released. At home, Jacob opens Newt's suitcase, inadvertently freeing several creatures into the city. Which, of course, all hell breaks loose. There's an eruption.
Hang on. So, what you're saying is, the suitcase is actually like a bag of holding, but this guy's using it like some kind of Noah's Ark style thing, where he's just keeping shit in there for whatever reason?
So it would have been an undetectable magic extension charm, which Hermione had used on that small beaded bag towards the end of the films because she had everything in it. And there was one in the Weasley car, which meant they could all fit in it and all their luggage could fit in it. So it is something that's kind of been used throughout. So rather than having a lab somewhere, he just keeps them all in a suitcase and takes them with him.
Okay.
Although
Well, I just have several questions about that.
Okay.
Is he like registered with some organization, or is he an independent studier of these things?
Well, kind of at this point, he's traveling and studying and doing the research for his book. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
And what part of his book involves containing live specimens?
Well,
is that not like super duper illegal and also unethical?
I mean, not particularly, because as he is a magi zoologist, he studies them. He's great with these creatures, so sometimes he's involved in
is he?
conservation efforts, and actually the whole reason he's actually in America is to bring a creature back home, essentially, but we will find out a bit more of that later.
And what are the ones in the briefcase, ones he's going to use as bait? Why are they here? Is that just shit he's picked up along the way?
No, some of them he's got because he's looking after them or raising them, because the Occamy, they're freshly hatched, and there's Niffler babies, and he's essentially raising some endangered species as well, which he can do best if they come with him.
Okay. So my next point then would be
the resource we need to craft your stomp upgrade seems to be just below you, but I've no idea how to get it.
I guess I gotta shoot it in the glowing ass cheeks. Yeah, so my question is here would be, this guy understands how how damaging it would be if this stuff got out into the Muggle world, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So he's not an idiot. He understands the severity of what he's dealing with or what he is doing by bringing what could essentially be considered like magical WMDs into a Muggle public space.
I mean,
contained in just a briefcase, right? And I assume because the Muggle opened it, there isn't a lock on that briefcase.
There is, but it's broken, which we see at the very, very start of the film.
Okay, that's very irresponsible.
Yeah.
Now,
and convenient for plot.
Does he also like, you know how when government officials say have a very important briefcase, they handcuff it to themselves?
Yes.
Do we not have that in the wizard? There's no handcuffs in the magic world?
There could be. There could be any number of spells to do something like that.
Okay. There's also no way he could charm it so that it auto-locks when it's outside of his vicinity.
I mean, he also could, but
there's no chance that he could put on the charm that was on, like, the golden snitch, so that it only opens under certain circumstances that can only be triggered by him.
There's also, well, he has a switch on the top of it, so he turns the switch and it says Muggle worthy. So rather than opening the suitcase and seeing what's really in there, it looks like pajamas and the toothbrush and stuff like that. So it's already enchanted. So a lot would have been easy.
Right, okay. He should definitely be in jail. Is he Hagrid's son or father?
No relation.
Oh, right, just because they seem to have like the same kind of irresponsibility with deadly creatures. I just wonder if that was like a family thing.
No, but I'm assuming that Hagrid was very, very fond of Newt and Newt's book. After Tina and Newt find Jacob in the suitcase and realise some of the damage that's been wrought because one of the creatures has bitten Jacob, the nomage, the Muggle, and so they realise, shit, right, we can't quite obliviate him yet, we can't wipe his memory, we're gonna have to keep him around and keep an eye on him, because wizarding law is slightly different in the 1920s in the USA. They just don't mix with Muggles at all. You're not allowed to speak to muggles, to get involved with muggles. You're definitely not allowed to marry one. And it's very, very strict, so muggles know nothing about the wizarding world. So because this guy knows this is like a severe breach in security.
Just remember you did your best. It wasn't very good, but it was your best. Hey, guess what? It's time
This
for
guy's
more
pretty
paperwork.
chunky.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah.
Not a fan of
So Tina decides to hide them, basically, and takes them back to her apartment. And introduces them to her sister, Queenie. Yeah, Queenie, very much a New Yorker and very much the looker of the two sisters. But she's like all like simperingly sweet. But the way she starts talking to them, like she knows a lot more than she should. And it turns out very, very quickly that she's a Legilimens, which is not something we really ever spoke about until maybe book 4, book 5, Harry Potter. Something that Dumbledore, that Voldemort, and that Snape could do. And Snape tried to teach Harry to essentially reading wizards' minds with magic. But it's something that she could do naturally.
Right. So,
and of course,
she's Mel Gibson in What Women Want.
kind of. And she and the Muggle hit it off instantly.
It's almost like Muggles are people.
I know, right? But they're not allowed. They're forbidden to have any contact. And Newt is in and around his suitcase, kind of rooting around in it. Jacob kind of asks, what exactly have you got? Like, what else have you got in there? And he takes him down, and every undetectable magic extension charm we've seen up until now, yeah, it can expand like a bag or a boot of a car, and it's been able to hold a large amount, or even a tent at the Quidditch World Cup. But inside this suitcase, when you descend the stairs and you're in what almost looks like a little lab, a little workshop, and then you go further down and it's an entire magical menagerie of mental creatures.
See if that was a thing.
Yep.
Why didn't Voldemort do that?
Yep.
And then inside that hide something else that he'd done that to? And then just keep doing that so that you had like an Inception style level of like layers to dig down instead of just having a snake out in the open next to him.
Yeah. I know, that would have been smart, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we've established that this is not a smart fucking series.
No, it is not. And one of the creatures that's kind of hidden away at one of the corners, Jacob sees it and he's like automatically drawn towards it. And it just looks like a ball of smoke, just floating in the air, just darting around. And Newt explains that this is an obscurial, which is a creature that essentially it's a parasite that develops inside magically gifted children when their magical abilities are suppressed.
What?
Yeah, and this obscurial thing essentially like overtakes them if it's not looked at, if the kids aren't nurtured and their magical abilities allowed to grow. This obscurial builds and builds and builds, and it becomes like their natural magic becomes more explosive and more violent. And then the kids they sort of blow up and just become this large kind of writhing mass of black smoke.
Now, I tell you what that does.
Yeah.
That fixes why the Ministry are watching all the Waynes.
Yes, it does.
That actually creates a valid reason to keep an eye on these things, because they're essentially the fucking oh shit, what are they called? The Death Stranding. You know when there's a void out in Death Stranding and there's just like a fucking nuke that goes off?
Well, Yeah, and Scott's actually just made a really good point there. Dumbledore's sister. So we get a little bit in the very, very last film, the last book, about Dumbledore's sister, and that she died very, very young. And her magic was volatile after being bullied and essentially tortured by these muggle boys that lived in the village. And from then on, her magic was never right, and she could never control it, and it would come out in like explosive bursts. So that kind of explains that as well. So I was okay with the addition of the obscurial for now. And unfortunately, those afflicted rarely live past the age of 10, because this thing just consumes them. And then they go, after spending the night, they go hunting some creatures. So they go hunt an Erumpent, which is a gigantic kind of cross between like a rhino and a whale, and it's on 4 legs and it's got a massive horn on its nose. Anyway, they track it to the zoo in Central Park, and Jacob's like hiding off the sidelines, covered in like what looks like rugby pads, and Newt starts dancing, starts doing a mating dance, and essentially trying to attract the gigantic Erumpent, which then starts to run at him. And he just jumps out the way, and the Erumpent jumps into and magically shrinks into the suitcase.
This is just going to be Ace Ventura, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Right, how
yes,
in
moving
the
on.
name of fucking Hylia did I get up here? I guess I need to go all the way over there and up and back over this way.
And over, yeah, it
is
kind of
that
looks
what I
like
need
it.
to do? Because I don't see a way up this tower. Like, it looks as if I'm supposed to go up the tower, through the middle, fight a thing at the top to get the ground pound, but I cannot see a way through this.
Unless
central
there's
bit.
like a grapple point somewhere that we're just not seeing.
Rotating mechanism, but nothing's rotating. It's all stuck. There's nothing to scan. It's all these vines. This shit's like blocking the way up. I can't grapple onto these, or
Maybe it's waiting for you to have like a specific mechanic.
maybe I just don't know.
Or maybe you need to ground pound like onto that section.
Oh yeah, but that's what I'm pretty sure I need to get to the top of this to get the ground pound.
Ah, okay.
But it's like 148 meters up still, so even if I got through the top of this, it's still quite high. So that's what's making me think it's in the other place.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I know what you mean.
Do I need to go all the way back and climb up somewhere, like up here, to get up there? Then come across this way. Right,
Just
how do
gotta
I
get a
get
trick
out
to
here?
it.
How do I get back from here? Where is the way? This way.
Where are we? Yes, so they've recaptured most of what's come out of Newt's suitcase, but Tina's had enough. The ex-order, she's had enough. So she waits till Newt takes Jacob down into the suitcase to see some of the animals. And she closes the suitcase and just walks into the ministry with it. Well, with Cusa, but walks into the ministry with it, puts it down in front of the head honcho, and is like, yeah, there's a wizard, and he's got a suitcase full of magical creatures, and he kind of let them loose, and he's got a nomage with him, and the nomage get bitten, and there's just shock and awe around about them, and they're like, right, take them away. And of course they get questioned by wonderfully portrayed by Colin Farrell, quite a sketchy wizard in Macusa.
Yeah.
Percival Graves.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's Colin Farrell, and he's basically, up until this point, been skulking around the ministry. I'm just going to call it the ministry for ease. And but at the same time, he's sometimes been seen around the Muggles. Especially a young Muggle boy, one of the children associated with the Bible Basher in the first scene, who are trying to spread awareness of witches and wizards. So he's trying to take him under his wing and look out for him and look after him. But we'll get back to that later.
Okay.
He interrogates Newt and Tina and accuses them of conspiring with the infamous dark wizard Gellert Grindelwald, who was basically the last evil wizard before before Voldemort.
Oh no,
also...
I don't think you were wrong when you said that.
No. But he was also Dumbledore's boyfriend at one point.
They're in it together.
Well, I say Dumbledore's boyfriend, so up until a good couple of the movies were out, it was mentioned in the books that he and Dumbledore were fast friends, like really, really, did everything together, spent loads of time with each other, and were never seen without the other, and then they had this big falling out. And then it wasn't till later on that retroactively Joanne came out and was like, yeah, no, Dumbledore's gay, he and Grindelwald had a thing. Again, retroactively changing her narrative for her own benefit.
I mean, makes sense.
Yeah.
I could totally see that being one of those things where it's just like, yeah, I just realised that was probably a thing I could do, and so I did it. As opposed to it being like any kind of like genuine like political statement or anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point in time, when those books were coming out, there would have already been like fan theories and stuff like that, and you've got to wonder, when authors are crafting their stuff, how often do they read all the fan theories and just go, that's a good one, I'll take that.
Very true. Very true. But yeah, this dude, Percival Graves, he's like, yeah, you must be working with like the bad guy. So, suitcase is going to get destroyed, the Muggles getting obliterated, and Newt and Tina are sentenced to death.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So Queenie senses this because she's got magical mind-reading powers. She rescues the Muggle before his memory can be wiped, and then help Newt and Tina escape. And the method for dispatch, really, for wizards in America is so rather than having just like a Dementor and having the Dementor's kiss, no, there's this room where they get taken and there's a pool of, it's almost water, but it's black and shiny, and you get like put into a chair and it's all very clinical, and the chair floats up and you're just sat above the water and you're panicking, of course, and then your happiest memories appear in the water, and you get, all of a sudden your eyes glaze over and you're just watching it away, and then the water, this black massive stuff, starts to climb up and consumes you. But the heroes manage to escape, of course.
This feels unfair.
But, and yeah, so we escape, we get the suitcase back, everything's fantastic, and they manage to recapture the last couple of escaped creatures.
I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the next bit. So Graves, Colin Farrell's character, or Ministry Wizard, approaches young Credence, the poorly abused and maligned son of Mary Lou Beerbone. Credence, by the way, this is Ezra Miller.
Oh.
Yeah, and offers to free him from his abusive mother in exchange for helping to find the Obscurial causing destruction throughout the city. Because of course. Credence finds a wand under his adopted sister's bed, which his mother assumes is his. And when Credence is about to be punished, the Obscurial kills their mother and his elder sister. And Graves, at this point, is like, right, well, little girl must be the Obscurial.
And thank you for your service.
Essentially tells Credence to fuck off so he can go after the sister, and then essentially just as young Credence has been dumped by yet another adult that's actually shown him any of attention. The composure starts to crack, and then Credence reveals. Pausing.
I really need to pee. I'll be right
No,
back.
that's totally fine. We have been going a while. So it's only taken watching 8 Potter films, talking about 8 Potter films, fan casting the Potter films, and reading Potter fanfiction for Jamie to now get the idea of, I'm going to write a Potter fanfiction. If it's something that actually happens, we will talk about it on screen, because you just know it's going to be filled with utter nonsense, but it's going to be fantastic at the same time, and the writing's probably going to be better than the original authors. So hopefully we get some of that out to you soon. And as for Savage Planet is going, he's absolutely flying through it, which is pretty good, although even the mere thought of a sub 4 hour speedrun is absolutely terrifying. And of course he's left us watching one of the little promo videos. That's stopped. Oh, we have another. Wedgie burger. Marvelous.
So this entire time, I'd completely forgotten that I slashed my finger open earlier on.
Ouch, how'd you manage that?
There was like a jaggy bit on a picture frame, and it slashed like right where it bends.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
But on like the underside, not the overside.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've just washed my hands there quite vigorously, forgetting all about that, and now it is actually stinging.
Oh, great.
So, give me a wee minute, folks.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Oh my god, actually, hang on. I'm gonna go and see if there's a plaster in my kitchen. That's stinging. Oh, shit.
Oh dear. Well, hopefully we're back to regular programming soon. Especially seeing as our videos seem to have stopped.
Sorry, I can hit square. There you go.
Coming up on KTV, tune in for a very special episode of We Like Weird.
Was that a thing?
It was. This is weird. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
I'd watch this show.
Yeah, it looks alright.
And a poisonous Shadowwoofer from Planet Gorlo.
Well, I mean, Some Nutter and a Puppet is like half the shows that were on in the 90s.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we grew up with.
Yeah, Art Attack.
Oh yeah, Sweet and Sweet.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Rainbow.
Oh man, I absolutely love Rainbow. And then if you want to go down the puppets, you've got the Clangers. I suppose that's a lot older than us. We had more stop motion animation. We had Morph, Wallace and Gromit.
There was a, Wallace and Gromit's great, but it wasn't my favourite Aardman animation.
Oh.
Yeah, there was only 2 seasons of it, I think, and like nobody else I've spoke to remembers it at all.
Okay.
But I've recently checked, and I think because all of the models were lost in the Great Aardman Fire.
Ah, that was horrible.
It was, but I think because of that, and because it can't be like recreated or whatever,
yeah,
Aardman themselves have put every episode up of it on YouTube.
Okay.
So if you've never seen it, I really recommend Rex the Runt.
Rex the...
Yeah.
Oh, no, right. So that triggered something in my memory there. Did a Google and then went, oh my god, I forgot that existed. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, Rex the Runt was my favourite Aardman animation. I loved that shit. And I found out about it because it was so weird, right? There was a kid in my school that I was friends with. This is primary school, right? And it was like, they did like a show and tell almost. They wanted us to bring in something that we thought was really cool and show it off to the class. and
Okay.
I brought in my skateboard.
Oh.
And I tried to do anything in front of anybody, and I just couldn't hit the point. But I brought in my skateboard. I really liked it. And this other guy in the class brought in these 4 plushies,
Okay.
and it was the 4 characters from Rex the Runt. But Wendy's got tits,
Oh no.
so
Yes, she does.
So he brought the plushies up on the thing, and the teacher just had to be like, "Is this alright? Is this alright?" Because she had to. Oh my god, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? You could see her. She was like the fucking sweating meme, and she was like, "Do I take that away or do I leave it? What do I do? What do I do?" And he was just, she let him roll with it, and he was talking about it. He's like, yeah, there's 4 characters on it, it's really good. And Shaun the Sheep, oh yeah, that was another good one.
Yeah, Shaun the Sheep was great.
He was like, yeah, it's a really good show. There's the 4 characters. This is this is Rex. He's the main character, and this is Wendy. And you can see the teacher, and she was like, "Oh my god, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it."
Right, Red.
And he was like, "She's the girl. She's got." And she's like, "She's got a bow on her head. That's how you know she's the girl." And the teacher was like, "Oh my god, thank God we got away with it."
Oh.
You can see her visibly relaxing. She got away with it.
Yeah.
And then he went, "And this is Bad Bob. He's a fat bastard."
Oh, how marvelous.
Surprise, motherfucker! It was a misdirect all along. But no, it's because in the show, I don't think he was old enough to understand, but in the show, they quite often refer to Bob as a big, fat, jelly, wobbly, fat bastard.
Yes, they do.
Bob, you are a big, fat, jelly, wobbly, fat bastard. So, yeah, he was just quoting that, and I don't think he really knew what it meant, but it was amazing watching this teacher think she got away with it, thinking it was
and
safe.
then just implode.
Oh yeah, it was great. We didn't even get on to Vince. Vince is the best character. Vince is the wee guy that's got random Pavarotti disease.
Ambient temperature.
So he just
Yes, oh my god.
Yeah, he just bursts into Pavarotti every now and then.
Oh, fantastic. No.
And do you remember the episode? There's one where they go to, I can't remember how they get invited, but they end up going to this character's house, and he's a sausage, and he's called, I think it's Jimmy Savaloy.
Oh my god, yes! Oh no!
They go hard on it. Jimmy Savaloy is like the most obvious fucking, like...
Jimmy Savaloy.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Well, they're definitely not resurrecting that now.
No, not that character.
Oh god. Now, the whole show and tell thing, like primary school, there's only one I really remember, and it was because my school was very female-led, shall we say. There was like one male teacher in the entire school, and he was also kind of like the school music teacher.
Whoa, hang on. There was one male teacher in the entire school, and he could play guitar?
And piano.
Oh, he was living in a harem. That school was his harem. Are you kidding me? What the?
I mean, it would have been apart for the fact that his wife worked there as well, so I don't think he was.
Nah. You know, if you're the wife of the only male teacher, you know it. These people don't get time for a social life. Are you fucking kidding me? They have to shop around in their own thing. My giant ass PE teacher married the tiny 5 foot nothing like art teacher.
Oh.
And it looked like he was married. It looked like he was married to one of the students.
Oh yeah, see that's weird.
He was like 6'4". It was insane. Anyway, they have
That's
to shop.
pretty much the height difference between my parents.
Yeah, like these guys have to shit where they eat.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're the only guy and you're the only bird with the only guy, your ass is marked.
Yeah. She was an absolute weirdo as
That
well.
must have been a behind the scenes political nightmare. That sounds like the plot to a fucking manga.
It kinda does. He was the coolest teacher in the school in the sense that like everybody wanted to be in his class because you would get like one music lesson a week if you were lucky in other classes, but with him you would get 3 or 4. And he was really fun, and his lessons were really, really thought provoking.
Yeah. I'll tell you why he was so happy, because his balls were empty.
Probably.
Permanently.
Worked his way around the classrooms. Oh dear, well that's my childhood ruined. But yeah, me being the entirely normal, not me like nerdy kid at all. When he told us, he was like, right, I've been told I have to do show and tell. You know, like, alright, I mean, you don't get to decide that. And he's like, no, apparently it's a requirement. So I want you to bring something in that's like interesting, thought-provoking. I don't want him to bring in like their football and talk about how much they love football, or for a lassie to bring in a Barbie doll and talk about Barbie. I want something interesting, right? And there was all manner of stuff, most of which he sat through bored. And me being the normal child that I am, was like, what have you brought for us? You know, my hand and a small rock in it. He's like, Emma, you brought in a rock. I'm like, yep. And he's like, and what's interesting about your rock? And I'm like, well, it was a bit of the Berlin Wall. And he went, really? And that was it. Half an hour of questions. I was like, what's it mean?
You picked that shit up outside, didn't you?
No. My dad was in Germany when the wall came down, so he has a piece of it.
I don't know if that could ever be authenticated.
Well, at the time, so when the wall was actually coming down, him and a couple of the guys went across because there was a guy in his group. He was in Germany for like 6 months for a work course. And there was a guy on the course who was essentially, well, in D&D terms, he would have had an intelligence score of somewhere between 4 and 6. But because he was like a trust fund kid and his dad ran a company, he basically just got to spend whatever money he wanted. So whenever they were free on weekends, he would just hire cars and pay for shit. So they had a high old time. And they'd heard about the Berlin Wall, and it took them a couple of days, but they'd get up. And apparently the hardware stores were like essentially hiring out hammers for people to help pull this thing down. And yeah, he got a little chunk of it to take home. Got some graffiti and stuff on it.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Anything to declare?
Oh, that's not even like the weirdest anything to declare. First time I went to Paris, to Disneyland, with my family. Coming back, sweltering like 32-degree heat, Charles de Gaulle Airport. Right through security. Anything to declare? And my brother pulls out 2 toy guns. I've never seen security appear quicker in my life.
Nice.
Yeah, he cried. He went from being all brazen and look, I've got my wee guns, and yeah, see when there were large men around him with actual guns, yeah, he cried.
I feel like that is like a terror that most children should experience to get traumatized from wanting to, like in America especially.
Oh yeah, big time.
Cool, that's how I ground pound.
But it's so much more like usual over there. Like I've had friends from like the States, like through uni and things like that, and they're like, yeah, they just find it weird that our police don't have guns on them, and they're like, how do they get anything done? I'm like, because generally they're young, fit, and can physically chase and restrain people.
Have you ever seen the Chewing the Fat episode where they do the like officer swap?
Yeah. Oh my god, yes.
Between the US and the UK, and it's
yes.
like they send over a guy from like Glasgow into New York, and they're like, oh, there was one time I was going after these gangbangers and they all had shotguns, and this boy got taken out with an automatic, you know, there's blood everywhere. You know, it was a bloodbath, you should have seen it. And then the Glasgow guy's like, aye, one time I was up and a boy had just been scudded across the back of the head with a pizza box. And he wasn't bleeding, but there was mozzarella everywhere. It looked like his skull was caved in. Oh, it was some mess.
Oh, Chewing the Fat was fantastic.
Go into the deli. It's like, I have a pastrami and rye, I have to pickle extra mayo. He bangs out all these lines. It's like, right, I'll have a rolling sausage, cup of tea, and a tatty scone.
Oh. Yeah, you'd have the American standing there taking the order going, what?
That's pretty
What,
much
what? Like, what is all that? Like, even in real life though, you would be like, what's all that? And oh, I'm from Scotland. Oh, you're from Scotland. I'm Scottish too. And you were like, no, you're not.
I'm 1/9 Scotch.
Oh, it infuriates me. It really does.
I know, that's why I keep saying it. I love it.
Oh.
What's down there? I think that's where I need to go. Oh, hang on a minute, I can fuck these up now. Die!
Nice.
Oh, that's so cruel. Why would I do that? How did I miss this goo? I guess the door needed zap to get opened and I couldn't do it
I
until
guess
I
so.
ground pounded the buggle.
43 out of 100. We're doing alright.
Yeah, I figure next week I'll definitely finish the game, so I'll probably do that and then try and do just the collectathon cleanup on stream as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Because story progression, we're about 80% of the way through.
Yeah. We have got through it pretty quickly. I was saying that when you were off stream.
Yeah, that means that I'll just avoid playing this off stream so that I don't collect too much, so there's still stuff to actually do next week. We won't get the 100% collection, I imagine,
No.
but you know,
Nah,
I'll
but-
leave it so that there's still stuff to actually do, so that when we finish the story, we're not sitting twiddling our thumbs going, right, so anyway.
Yes, exactly.
It's awful that this guy's boots are better than Taunt.
Oh, I mean, I liked Torrent for what he was, but yeah,
Listen,
got
man,
infuriated.
listen, here's the thing, right? Hey Travis, see when you are just coming off the back of playing Shadow of the Colossus?
Oh, that fucking horse.
Aggro sucks. I don't care what anybody says, that horse sucks.
I couldn't stand it. I bounced off that game pretty hard a couple of times. I did try it a couple of times because Scott absolutely loves it, and yeah, every single time I had to go long distance on that stupid thing, I'd start screaming at the screen because it just wouldn't go in. It wouldn't go in any direction for any length of time.
I was drunk. Like, Aggro had been huffing the cat before.
Yeah.
Alright, okay, grapples.
Oh, there we go.
Just pull the thing out. Oh my god, I'm in the fire. Last one.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
So,
Nice.
just a quick note.
Trial of agility.
Here's the lava that
Oh, joy.
started rising.
Oh, the lava's rising. Sick.
Great.
And I've fallen.
Oh, no.
Oh, platformintisms, let's go. Are you serious?
Oh, man.
Just grab
At least the lava's coming up quite slowly.
Oh yeah, the lava kind of starts. Oh, okay, I gotta go all the way up.
Yeah.
There's freaking lasers. Shit. It's raising a bit faster than I'd like.
Yep. I think now that
Ow.
we've got up here, it's just kind of going, hiya.
Okay, okay. Ow. It's turned into Resident Evil with the lasers.
That's been a bit mean.
Ooh, grab it.
Oh, there's another one.
Grab it, grab it. No, you suck. You suck.
No!
Alright.
So close.
Is really close. Is this helping? This isn't helping. Sorry. It's your 10-time death anniversary.
Wait,
Just
return
so you know,
to
your
the.
brain
Wait, I actually
might
have to do it?
start to, slightly
Oh my.
explode around death number 50. Something to look forward to.
Ooh, if I get 50 deaths, I'll explode.
Nice.
Allegedly. I don't know if that's true.
Hmm.
Call of Duty carrying whole blight bombs. Cool, we'll take it.
Cool.
Upgrade synthesized.
Yeah, going for the speedrun in this is going to be hard.
Yeah, I'm going to need to essentially have it planned down, like, to the minute, to be like, right, we need to get this, and just go in a very, very specific direction.
Yeah,
I know,
exactly.
obviously, there's a speed run, as you said earlier, in 15 minutes, which is ridiculous. But even doing that...
The only way that I can see that being in any way possible is that person has found a way to clip into the like final thing.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Oh, hands down.
It's got to be some kind of bug.
It was even when Scott and I we'd watched a couple of Subnautica speedruns, and obviously Subnautica's buggy, especially the first one. It's very buggy, so much so that nowadays they have the unstuck button on Subnautica for PC anyway, because the amount of time people would get literally stuck in scenery or stuck in rooms, and the Subnautica like the record speedruns were ridiculous, like, stupidly short amounts of time. But obviously you need to be getting down to 1700, 1800 meters below sea level. You couldn't figure it out, so we watched one, and it was a dude who had got the mobile vehicle bay, because obviously you need to pick that up and actually deploy it in the water, and he had went down to the kind of mushroom trees kind of area, and there was a specific kind of coral bridge he found, went underneath it, and then just started opening and picking up the mobile vehicle bay, like right in against the wall.
Right.
And then glitched all the way down.
Right, okay.
Like just straight down through the Lost River and everything, and then right into Lava Zone.
Right,
And
okay.
it was impressive. It was just like, oh, okay. So of course went in and managed to get the late game stuff super early. And as soon as you go in and get a couple of those glowing cubes, you can activate all the gates, and then you can just jump between everywhere in the game. And obviously there are still very, very fast glitchless runs, but the glitch ones are pretty awesome, because it's cool to see how people break the game.
Yeah, that's one of my favourite things about just sitting watching GDQ. And I'm pretty sure the trophy for speedrunning this one in under 4 hours is called See You at GDQ. Which would be...
I will be very interested to see the Tears of the Kingdom speedruns once I've finished the game. Because Breath of the Wild... even without glitching the game, Breath of the Wild was ridiculous because of the abilities that you had, one of which being stasis, which you could freeze anything.
Yeah.
And then just hit it to make it fly off into the distance. So people were jumping on top of stones and throwing themselves across Hyrule. And it was quite clever, and even things that speedrunners tend to look for, like ways to cut down time, ways to avoid cutscenes, and the 120 shrines in Breath of the Wild. Each one you've got to watch the little loading animation of you kind of waiting for the shrine to open up and change colour. I know people were kind of standing up at the side of it, and again doing a little glitch with like the shield, and they would just glitch through the wall of the shrine and enter straight away, just to save that like 30 seconds or whatever.
This platform is dog shit.
Yep. Oh, we're getting pretty close with this lava.
Come on.
Oh no.
Hadouken! Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're good. You're good. Is this what panic feels like? That's new.
Half of that.
That was Slimpy.
Yeah, that was kind of all over the place.
So there's definitely something down there.
2K done in 3 hours?
Concentrated mass in
Jesus.
We've recovered a partial recording, and it sounds like this.
God. Damn.
Anyway,
I'm actually intrigued now. I'm going to look up
just keeping you in the loop. That's one generator
the
activated.
speedrun
Not
record
gonna be enough,
for
though.
Subby.
Better flip on the others.
Okay, that's another tower done. What's next on the journal?
Glitchless survival mode in original Subnautica. 59 minutes, 16 seconds. Subnautica speedrun survival, any percentage, 29 minutes.
Oof.
Yeah. Glitchless hardcore run, 1 minute, 1 hour, 3 minutes.
Oh, it's my corpse. Oh.
There we go. On Reddit, Subnautica survival, any percentage, 33, 36 world record.
I was trying to slap my corpse, but I seem to be burying it. Oh, okay.
I can't believe someone had done Tears of the Kingdom in 3 hours. That's all, and it's interesting as well because some people are counting the speed run when you get out of the first area, because obviously that's a lot slower in this game, kind of like the Great Plateau in Breath of the Wild, but it is done slightly differently, and it does take a bit of time because it's got to teach you so many new mechanics. So people are kind of counting like the runs from after that.
Yeah. I guess that makes
Although
sense.
the only thing it's kind of kicked my butt so far is the starter area for Breath of the Wild in Tears of the Kingdom, because, well, we're playing on the same map. I was expecting, it was the starter area. I'll be fine. Absolutely not.
Oh no! If
Get
a starting area is
destroyed.
returning, it's coming back bad.
Oh yeah, it has. I've not went back since. I'm like, no, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready for that.
Don't worry, I believe in you.
I'll get there.
Okay.
Even if the horror, even if the duplication glitch has been patched.
Now, why would they go and do something like that?
I know, it's terrible.
Oh,
I had
this
spent
is
like
a bad idea.
hours duplicating stuff, and I'm really glad I did. But I can't do it anymore. I was raging, and it was while we were out. We were at a party, and I think Scott mentioned it, and then like everybody in the room was like meerkats, like, what happened then, Zelda? Like the duplication glitch, and I'm like, oh,
You're all a
because
bunch
we've all
of
been
filthy.
using it.
You're all a bunch of filthy cheaters.
Yeah, but it makes things just go a lot quicker.
I can't see shit. I used to use a dupe thing in old Monster Hunter on the PSP all the time
Yeah.
for potions. It was like if you connected with somebody locally and you could trade potions, you would just trade over as many as you had, and then one of you would just turn your PSP off, and it wouldn't save that you had given all your stuff over.
Yes.
But the other person would get it, and then they would trade all that stuff plus
Back,
their stuff
yeah.
back, and you would just keep swapping.
Oh, that's quite clever. Now, the big one that was in Tears of the Kingdom was whatever you wanted to duplicate, you put to the very end of your inventory, and then you would either shield jump or jump off something and use your paraglider, so you're like actively interacting with something. Then go into your menu, hold the items that you want to duplicate, and then quickly come back out of your menu, essentially using Y and B, so one shuts the menu and one stops using the paraglider, and the items drop at your feet, and as soon as you pick them up, they're duplicated. I spent 2 hours at one point, when I figured out it worked, I spent 2 hours just sitting, duplicating. Are you actually going to do anything? I was like, no, just in case they patch this. And then I sat my phone, like, just on the edge of the sofa, set it to record, and I was like, right, talk Jeff through it, and then pinged her the video, and she was like, I don't get it, you're still picking up the same amount. And I'm like, try it. I was like, oh my god, it doubles everything. And yeah, apparently I created a monster because she spent ages doing it.
Thank you for your service.
Fuck. I didn't even realise my health was that bad. Oh well, that's probably a good time to leave it.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much bang on time.
Yeah, perfect. Alright. Well, thank you for... Actually, how far through are we? Let's have a wee look. 80%, so we've got the last 20% to go. Next week we will finish the story. So next week will be the last one for this, so we need to have another debate about what we're playing next.
Yes, we will. Unless we're the Ghostbusters.
I mean, have you got it?
No. I will have a look into it. But we are also staring down the barrel of possibly upgrading and finally getting that new console we've been talking about.
Well, do that, get the maximum tier for the PlayStation thing. I think its Days of Play sale starts tomorrow.
Ooh, we'll need to have a look at that then.
I'm sure there'll be console bundles as well.
Yeah.
Right, well, thank you everybody for watching. It's
Yes,
been
thank
absolute
you
blasty
guys.
blast. Have a good one. I'm back on Tuesday.
We are Monster Hunter.
Yes, thank you. Can't believe I forgot that.
I'm glad you've been enjoying it.
Yeah, I've been playing it off stream, doing
good.
the village quests, and I'm actually getting quite into Sword and Shield now.
Oh, nice.
It's not as bad
That's
as
good.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, it's great because Scott's replaying it again, and it means I get to hear the Fluffy Bunny Dangle song a lot. I love it. It's so cute.
There's something for everyone.
Yep.
Right. Thank you, everybody. Peace and much love.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.